cook it. But yeah, that's what I got cooking. So I think
Nice,
I'm
bro.
within a month.
Let me ask you a couple questions, Drew. Uh, you know, so then there were some fights that Golden Boy hosted on Saturday. Some very good
Yep.
fights. We had
Yep.
Floyd Schofield versus, Rene Giron Tellez. What'd you
Yep.
think of that main event fight? And yeah, bro, what was your overall thoughts of Floyd Schofield, Tellez, the fight? Did you feel scared or did you feel like you had it in the bag? What are your thoughts, man?
Oh man. So it was a good fight. It was a good fight. Schofield actually stepped it up. He actually changed it up. Like we were saying in the chat, Schofield stepped it up and he actually made the changes that he needed to do. And um, I used to question his cardio, or like his stamina, but it did last up until the 10th round, and then he just, after the 11th and 12th, was suspect, because he was willing to exchange, and I feel like he was just tired, and he needs to fix that, and I feel like that's fixable. I think he says something, or his dad says something where like um they were scheduled for 10 rounds, or like they said 10 rounds, and then they got surprised, quote unquote, like surprised, and said it was 12, and I'm thinking to myself, like, isn't this an eliminator, or am I wrong? I might be wrong, but I think it's still, it's the main event. You're definitely going to be stepping up against a dude that's been in 12 rounds, so I think Schofield did great up until the 11th and 12th. He got hurt in those rounds. And like you were saying, bro, like those are the things that you were pointing out. And it almost came to fruition, bro. Like honestly, I was so hyped, bro. Like I was yelling. Just because I put $100 on that. I put $100 on a Rene Giron knockout. So I put $100 on that. Didn't happen, but I had other bets that actually got me the money back, and I forget which ones. I have to look it up, but there was other great fights. Um, yeah. So before I move on to the other ones, yeah, like because I got other, I didn't just like that fight. There was other fights that I liked, but I'll wait for you to go on to those subjects. But fucking with this fight, um, I think you can't really say he got exposed. I see a lot of people saying that he got exposed, and I think it's been exposed. Right at this point, he's just fucking showing his IQ and his heart, and I just feel like he does get carried away, and he wants to trade blows, and that's where what he shouldn't do. Like he has a he has a better boxing ability than I thought. Like he has really good boxing ability, and he has a good jab. He has a really good jab, and I'm like, okay, and that's kind of something I didn't know about him, I guess, because I did see some fights, but he didn't really utilize the jabs because he was actually willing to stay in the box and exchange. But this one, he showed me that jab, and I was like, damn. And it probably was there in the other fights too, but in this fight, he really needed it, to win this fight, and he used it to his ability, and he won some solid rounds. He definitely won the decision, but just because he won the majority of the first set of rounds, and the first, I don't know, like 7 or 8 rounds, or he won 8 rounds or 7 rounds around there. But yeah, dude. Rene Telez, he did good. I just think this is something that we expected in a way. I thought he was gonna try to hurt him, in at least in the middle rounds. He didn't really do that. Like he waited until the 11th and 12th round.
Yeah.
So it's just like, come on, man. Like you were supposed to. I don't know. I think he waited for him to get tired, but he waited. He got tired up until the 11th and 12th, maybe even the 10th.
Who Floyd or
Yeah,
Rene?
Floyd.
Oh,
Floyd.
okay.
Yeah. So he got tired toward the later rounds, but he thought he was gonna get tired. I don't know. Like he just was waiting for him. I don't know what he was thinking, but he was just waiting for him to get tired, and he was coming forward, letting him fucking touch him up, and it was just like, man, come on, man. Like I know you can hurt him, and you've seen it in the later rounds, and yeah, man, it was just crazy. I mean, um, I think Schofield is that guy, but he's not like the guy. He's literally the Sean Porter, bro. Like he won some fights and he lost some fights against the elite, but he belonged. He belonged in that at that level, and I feel like Schofield is at that level, but he should not be fighting dudes like Shakur. He should not be fighting dudes like that. I mean, he's one of those dudes where that styles makes a fight, and that's possible. That makes it possible for him to be a world champion. Um, I got to see more from him. Um, Oscar De La Hoya gave him a C fucking minus, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. I would say if it wasn't for those knockdowns and for him getting tired, I would have given him like a B plus, but he got tired and all that, and I might have to give him like a C plus, you know, like a C plus, B minus, But I feel like B minus, me being nice, So, um, yeah, no, he did good, man. He did good. I was like, fuck, man, I lost this $100 by like the eighth round. By the eighth round, I was like, damn, he's not gonna knock him out because we would have seen him kind of get hurt, but he was doing really good, and it didn't shock me, but he needed to show me, for me to feel some type of way about him. Now, somewhat in, but I'm still wary of his ability, because um,
Do you
it,
think he's ready for Shakur?
no, no, he's not. His style will never be met for Shakur, never,
Why you say that?
because Shakur um, manages to evade, and he will beat him to the punch, and he will slide in, slide out, like with the quickness, bro. He is way too quick for him. He will not. I can see him giving Devin Haney a hard time. Or I mean, yeah, I can see him giving him a hard time. Um, yeah, that's a good fight. I'm trying to think who else. There's 140 is so loaded, bro. So I don't think he even just thinking about his because he's 140, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like it's so
Ooh,
loaded, bro. Honestly,
135,
hold on.
140. I think 135 right now.
Okay, if it's 135, he has a good solid chance, but 140, I don't know. Man, I don't know. Like, dude, imagine him versus Catterall. That's a good fight, but I
Nah,
think
hell
Catterall
no.
Catterall outboxes him though, you
Nah, I
know?
wouldn't like to see Floyd Schofield versus Catterall, bro. I would like to see Floyd Schofield with guys like possibly Emiliano Vargas,
Ah, nah.
Abdullah Mason,
That's
Tiger
across the
Johnson.
street.
Those who they're like, because these guys are prospects, and
Vargas
Floyd
is
have more
across the
fights
street.
than these guys. I don't think he's ready for Jack Catterall and Shaker, and
He's not.
he might barely be ready for Emmanuel Navarrete, bro.
But
You know
that
what
guy's hella small from the
I'm saying? Emmanuel
smaller
Navarrete
weights.
fought that dude Barenchenk when he moved up to 135.
Yeah, but he already lost, so why fight him? But
What do you mean,
uh,
bro?
I
Like,
don't
let me tell you this. There was rumors that Floyd Schofield was gonna fight Jojo Diaz, but I guess Jojo Diaz pulled out because he wanted a little more money to fight Floyd. Because Jojo was like, bro, I got hella experience. What the fuck you want me to do as
know.
fighting
Uh,
prospects? If you guys already think I'm in that type of phase in my career, being like a gatekeeper, then pay me a little much more so I can be, your punching bag for your new prospect. And then Golden Boy was like, nah, I'll see you on Pro Box.
but the other guy that you just mentioned right now is actually across the street. Navarrete and who else did you?
Yeah,
Vargas. They're
yeah,
all across the
no,
street.
that's true. It's true, but I'm just saying, like, you brought up Jack Catterall, and I'm like, bro, you want old boy Schofield to move up to 140, fight a freaking champion over some prospects? Like, well, I was like,
Yeah,
come
no,
on,
no. In the
dude. Like,
future,
this guy is 22 years old.
that's too early.
Jack
It's
Catterall and
early.
Teofimo Lopez might be a very good fight. Teofimo Sandor versus Jack Catterall, those are good fights. Bro, this guy just beat Josh Taylor and Regis pro grade. Floyd ain't on that level. Schofield ain't
Yeah,
on. Like, bro, he's a kid Austin.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I
But no,
just
no.
realized how loaded it is. I just realized how loaded 140 is. That's why. And it's like, yeah, I wasn't really sure what division. I'm still kind of lost. Like I see his resume and it says 135 and 140 he's fought at. So it's like he's a tweener, you know. So it really just depends how he lines up his fights, you know, like or how he picks his fights, you know. Because 140 is really fucking packed. I don't know. I don't know about that division for him, you know. What were you gonna say? You were gonna say something really important.
Oh no, man, just keep cooking, bro. Keep cooking. I got
Okay,
I got
okay.
a lot to say. I got
Me too.
definitely a lot to
Me
say, but
too.
just keep going, keep going. You good?
Okay, okay. Did you see when Schofield fell off or didn't even he just fucking what do you call it? Like
He
they
fell off the stool after like round 10
he
when he
didn't
got
fall
knocked.
off of it. He didn't fall off of it. He just thought it was there and he missed it. And like I thought that was his corner's fault, you
Right.
know. Put that shit there already.
Golden Boy, they asked him at the post-fight conference, right? They asked him, man, what grade would you give Floyd Schofield? Floyd Schofield and his father, they gave himself a B minus. Golden Boy said C minus. He would like to see more body shots. He thought the body shots would have gotten René Tellez out of there. What did you think? Is C minus a little harsh, or did you feel like that was proper? And so I'll leave it at that question. What you think about that? What grade would you give Floyd?
Oh, I said a C plus. C plus. If it wasn't for that knockdown and him being hurt in the later rounds, I would have given him a B plus.
Got you. You think the knockdown was legitimate? Because, Floyd did turn his head a little bit. He got hit with a punch, but it hit him like behind the ear, behind the head. That was
It
Floyd's
was
fault, but that was a punch. You know what I mean?
yeah, it was a misbalance. You know, he was off balance and that was his fault. You know,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you're top heavy. Uh like when you're big up top and it's like sometimes your explosiveness actually it works towards your advantage, and that's what happened. I feel like he slipped and all his force, all the weight went forward and he had to touch the ground, and towards that, movement, he got hit in the face, so technically, yeah, I mean, that's
Could
what
you
happened.
say could you say that Floyd Schofield was pretty much pitching a shutout until he decided to bang it out with the Mexican and go toe to toe and he
Yeah,
got
so
hurt and dropped?
there were,
Is that bad? Like if you see that, is that bad? Or did
yeah,
you thoroughly enjoy that?
uh that, like it's too early to start thinking that way. Like we should start thinking about enjoying you, if seeing you fight once you're at that level. Like worry about winning fights for now. You know what I mean? And he needs to work on that, or like, and not try to engage with these guys because he surprised me with that jab. I was like, damn, he's touching him up.
Yeah.
Like he did the same. Well, I gotta go back and watch the Michelle Rivera fight. But did you watch that fight?
The Michelle Rivera
Yeah.
versus who? Oh,
Uh,
versus Renetta. Yes. No,
yeah.
I didn't watch that one. No.
Okay, I need to watch it because
I'm all right. So I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I would give Floyd Schofield an A plus, bro.
wow,
And the reason why is
he
just
showed
from
a
an
lot of heart.
outsider looking in, right? This dude is 22 years old. I was thoroughly impressed, bro, by his performance. And I'm not gonna lie, I like the fact that he got dropped. Bro, that thing was so fun and entertaining. Like from an outside, like just from entertainment value, I was like, this dude, he's willing to fight. Because he could have made it boring and box from the outside and throw a bunch of flurries and never let René Giron catch him. He could have done that. He could have done a handy 1-2 clinch type of shit. He could have easily done that. He was way much bigger, taller, faster. He would throw like 4-6 punch combinations, and then he could box. But then in the 10th round, he was like, you know what, bro? Let me see if I can dig it and tough it out with this Mexican, and let me punch him. And he was hitting him. And then Yes was hitting him too. Floyd got dropped. It was a little bit of a scare, sure. As Golden Boy, you're like, oh, dude, you got to be fucking smart. You have to box. You have to use your God-given don't give up your height. I get it, bro. I get it. but I was impressed, bro. I was like, bro, this kid's got grit and toughness. Now I know that he's got that Sean Porter in him where he'll lunge and be very chaotic, but this fight showed he can be extremely disciplined. But guess what? He's a fucking fighter, and he wants to fight and he wants to hurt. He ain't gonna run like Shakur did against Edwin de los Santos. Fuck no. Floyd is gonna bang it out. Now that from an entertainment value, that's how you become a star. See, Canelo Alvarez, when he fought Miguel Cotto's brother, right? He got hit and he got wobbled. And you know what Canelo was doing? Fighting back. He had a scare and he was fighting back. But he know that, guess what? I can also box and be much more disciplined and things like that. But at the end of the day, I want to entertain. And Floyd Schofield, those type of performances are going to be memorable. See, nobody's looking out for Shakur. Nobody right now misses Shakur Stevenson. No one talks about his fight versus Edwin de los Santos. No one talks about it. But Floyd Schofield, yesterday, he has the entertainment value. Now, we noticed that he doesn't have that Tank Davis one-punch knockout type of shit. You know what I mean? He's got, Floyd Schofield's fast. He's got he's strength. He's big, But, dude, I was thoroughly impressed. Now, I'll say this. Could he pass the fight versus Tellez with flying colors? Absolutely. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was expecting Tellez to upset him, because Floyd in his previous fights extremely undisciplined. For about 10, I think Floyd lost 3 to 4 rounds, right? For 8 or 9 of those rounds, he fought extremely disciplined. He used his height, he used his speed, he used his youth. He locked it in on defense until the championship rounds where you're like, oh shit. But aside from that, I was extremely impressed. I would give him an A+, bro. Because when I look at fighters and I look back at what makes the sport great, I want fighters, bro. I don't want Olympians to just, give me boring fights like Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Absolutely not. I want to see Floyd Mayweather versus Miguel Cotto. Top tier defense, offense, boxing. I want entertainment value. So when I say that Golden Boy has a star, he's got a fucking star in Floyd Schofield. Floyd and Kid Austin, he just has to trust the process and honestly, don't fight Shakur Stevenson. Shakur is not going to hurt you. He's just going to go out there and try to outbox you, right? He just cares about the victory. Shakur won't be a star because of that Floyd Schofield aspect, that aspect that Floyd will entertain. Then that's why I bring up guys like Emmanuel Navarrete. That's who he should call out. Floyd Schofield should look to fight guys like Oscar Valdez, guys that are actually going to fight and is going to be very entertaining. Right? He should stay away from pure boxers. Try to build a mega fight with Ryan Garcia and possibly with William Camarón Zepeda. Those guys might be Floyd. But that's why I bring up all those prospects, because, Golden Boy, he knows. He knows what he saw. I'm sure
he's
pure standpoint, that was dumb. But I didn't see it like that. You know what I mean?
He's a 135 pounder. So
absolutely, bro.
Yeah, so okay, that I take everything back. I said 140.
But yeah, no, absolutely, man. That's why guys like Sander Martin, he should, and Jack Catteralls of the world at 135. That's who Floyd Schofield should avoid, because it's look, boxing. It's like this. Canelo fought Erislandy Lara, a prime Erislandy Lara, a fucking dangerous Erislandy Lara, the most avoided man at 154. A lot of people don't give Canelo credit at all for facing that style. They don't. You get what I'm saying? That was a very entertaining fight. It was very a great clash of styles, right? But honestly, that type of style looks bad for your performance. Look when Teofimo fought Jermaine Ortiz and he fought Sander Martin. Those are complicated styles for anybody. The great likes of 3-4-time division champions like Mikey Garcia, he had complications with Sander Martin. So my thing is like those type of styles, you're gonna get criticized and give no credit. I don't know why Floyd is looking to fight and call out Shakur Stevenson. That is not a mega fight for you, bro. You might not beat him, and if you do beat him, guess what? You have to put like William Zepeda type of pressure, because I'm pretty sure you're not gonna out jab Shakur Stevenson, and he probably won't let you get on the inside. Like that is the wrong style for Floyd Schofield, much like it was for Canelo to fight Erislandy Lara and Canelo to fight Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? At least with Floyd, you get beat by him, but at least you get exposure, you get paid, and you might be the next face because you showcase the skills. But against Shakur Stevenson, only certain people can beat Shakur. You know what I mean? And it won't be guys like Emmanuel Navarrete. It could be Camarón Zepeda, guys that throw 150 punches per round because they're just going to outwork you. But I don't think Floyd Schofield will throw 150 punches around. He's much more methodical in his approach. Again, I could be wrong in these aspects, but Floyd has to trust Oscar. Oscar been around the block. He knows what's good for Floyd. And it all depends on what Floyd Schofield's trying to, accomplish in his career. Because if you're looking to become a champion, go fight the guy that beat Emmanuel Navarrete. He's much more affordable. You can become a champion. I know he was holding the WBA regular belt or, like a contender belt. I don't know who the WBA champion is at 135. It could be Tank Davis because usually Tank Davis fights for the WBA. Do you know who the WBA champions? Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Cruiserweight, middleweight, featherweight, lightweight. Yeah. So the world champion is Gervonta Davis, and then the gold champion is Ruben Nestor Neri Munoz. Never heard of him. So that's what Floyd Schofield was carrying around. Honestly, he should go the WBO route and fight Dennis Berinchenk. Now, again, I'm not really one to condone. I'm just saying that you have to build your career properly. Shakur Stevenson, look at his career. It's been built extremely proper, right? He's fought in these styles that suit his style. When he fights styles that complicate him, guess what? Like the guy from Namibia that got knocked out by Raymond Murataya. I forgot what his name was. And then that style with Edwin de los Santos, right? What the fuck was his name? Raymond Murataya. But am I giving Floyd Schofield too much praise for saying that he got an A+? He beat
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Yeah, I'm a little surprised, bro. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I thought you were gonna give him like around what I was gonna give him, or like a B. I didn't think like an A+. Um, just because there's so much that he can work on. You
No,
know,
absolutely. I'm not saying that he's a finished product and he's perfect, but I'm
yeah,
talking about what I know what he showed, and I know what he can do. I mean, look at his father when he's working those corners. He was telling Floyd, basically like, what the fuck is you doing, bro? Fight
yeah,
box. Nobody has never knocked this dude out. Why are you trying to be the first one?
yeah. I know.
With that pride
Yeah,
and that fighter spirit, Floyd's like, I want to be the first guy to knock him out. I know I can outbox this dude and beat him with punches and combinations from the outside, but let me see if I can hurt dude. He
yeah.
couldn't
No,
really, and it almost paid him. But I was like, I like seeing shit like that. You know what I mean?
yeah. And honestly, I think like I think that's why Shakur is willing to fight Floyd Schofield, because he's looking at all those flaws, and he's like thinking to himself like, oh, that's easy money. But I think Schofield really, I think he has a puncher's chance. I think he has a puncher's chance of hurting Shakur, but he has to time him up. He's never gonna be quicker than him. He's never gonna out jab him. I think he has to go through the fire, But I don't know. Like, I don't even want to start talking about that fight, but like, that's crazy. He started trying to be the first one to knock out Renee, bro. Like,
I know, bro.
so that's why, dude. That's why I don't give him an A+, because he's like, he doesn't know, he doesn't notice that, he doesn't put mind into that, and he doesn't think about these things while he's like fighting, and it's like, bro, you got to put two things together, and you got to know what you're dealing with prior to the fight. You can't just go off the field. You got to go remember what the game plan is. You can't just go off of emotion and be like, damn, he's hurt, because I feel like he thought he was hurt or something, and it's just crazy. You gotta let the dominoes fall by themselves. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta just keep going to the body and see if he goes down. But you can't just expect to knock somebody out in the 10th round when he's taking your best shot. So Yeah, dude. And then I don't know. You believe that his dad really did think it was gonna be a 10 rounder? You think that was? You think
What the
that?
fight versus Tellez?
Yeah, like you really think he was in, in under the impression that it was gonna be a 10 rounder?
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a 10 rounder too because I
Really?
didn't know that there was gonna be a belt on the line, even though it's like an interim belt or a second year belt, you
Yeah,
know.
good point.
But I was like, bro, you're gonna put your young prospect in a 12 rounder fight against this knockout artist, this tough ass dude that hurts a lot of people and hurts a lot of prospects that knocked out Carlos Valderas, shit like that. Like, you're gonna put Floyd Schofield in that type of fight? Like, I mean, I guess, you know. But that's what I'm saying, bro. Is
Well,
like everything about the aspect and the situation.
mhm,
If Floyd Schofield never leaves Golden Boy and he trusts Golden Boy to properly handle his career, bro, he's gonna build this kid into a star
yeah,
because he's
yeah,
got that aspect, bro. Like I was impressed, bro. But before we, you'd be like, man, Rick, shut the hell up, bro. Stop glazing this dude. I'm not, bro. I mean, for 22 years old, this is Golden Boy's version of Abdullah Mason.
mm, yeah, okay,
You know what
but
I'm saying? Like, I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie to you. I think the guy Renete Yes, who Floyd Schofield's fought, is better than who anybody Emiliano Vargas has faced, and better than anybody that Tiger Johnson has faced, and
mhm,
better than Abdullah Mason has faced. That's just a
yeah,
fucking fact. Give me
yeah,
Abdullah Mason's best opponent and let me know if Abdullah Mason has gone 12 rounds with a heavy puncher that's been battle tested like Renete Yes or Emiliano Vargas. You won't be able to. And that's the type of trust that Golden Boy has in Floyd Schofield. And he passed this test, in my opinion, with flying colors. Now, does he need a couple of fights? Yeah, of course, bro. Realistically, he needs 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 more fights. But I guarantee you this: I think Floyd Schofield can beat Dennis Berinchenko, who outboxed Emmanuel Navarrete
mhm.
at 135. You get what I'm saying? So
And that was yeah,
like I was impressed, bro. But shout out to Golden Boy, bro, because he's low key getting a nice stable of fighters. The guy that you see on screen, his name is Jordan Fuentes. I believe he's from Merced. He's a nice little outboxer. He can fight from
right
the
now.
inside. This guy right here, right here, right here.
Oh,
He's nice, bro. He's nice. He's 18 years old. The guy in black.
hey, side note, that was on Renee Telez and Floyd Schofield. That was their first 12 round fight. That was their first one. So,
So Jordan Fuentes right there in the screen, bro. And on top of that,
oh shit.
he also has this fighter that he signed. He's from Bakersfield, California. His name is Joel Iriarte.
Mm.
That dude is a six
Oh, I
foot
seen
one,
him.
6'1", 6'2" Mexican American. Hold on, bro. Let me show you this badass amateur fight that he had with Abdullah Mason. Both dudes drop each other in the amateurs, bro. Like legit bona fide fucking punches. Hold on. It's Abdullah Mason versus Joel Iriarte. And then that's another guy that Golden Boy signed. Foo! Bro, dangerous. Yo, Speed, mic check right there, Captain Kirk. You there, man?
Yeah, 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, what up, brother? So right here, you got to watch this amateur. I can't show you guys this because unfortunately they'll strike me down. But this is Abdullah Mason in the blue from Bakersfield, California. Joel Iriarte, a fighter that signed with Golden Boy. He's 6'1" and tall, and he's a fucking knockout artist, bro. All right, you guys got to watch this. They're starting throwing punches, bro. Hold on. Hold on, let me see if this is in 1080p. This is like 360. That's all. Anyway, you guys have to watch this fight on your own time. But trust me, when it's one of the best amateur fights that you have, shout out to Joel Iriarte and shout out to Golden Boy for finding this amazing fighter. That dude is going to be a great champion. If he continues to stay at 135, maybe even 130, 140, dude, that dude has the metrics, the punch combinations, the power, the arm length to be extremely dangerous. And yeah, man, I'm really excited with this young crop of fighters that Golden Boy continues to find, bro. I was a little upset that he couldn't reel in Steven Navarro. Obviously, Steven Ismael Navarro signed with Top Rank. Top Rank, they know what they're doing. And I'm sure Golden Boy tried to get him, but it is what it is. But yeah, Speed, what'd you think about Floyd Schofield, man? Were you impressed? Golden Boy gave him a C minus, right? From the performance. Floyd and his give each other a B minus about the fight. And yeah, man.
No, I give him a B. I think a C is very harsh,
Mm,
right? Well, first off, let's I mean, let's just address the elephant in the room, right? The last live that we had, you guys titled it. In fact, it was all focused on how it seemed to be a night of upsets for Golden Boy,
yeah,
because every single matchup right there, especially for the up and comers, the notable names that Golden Boy possesses in their stable, the Darius Fulgham, the Floyd Schofield, and the Beck Melikuziev,
yeah,
they were pit against very tough individuals, right?
mm,
In fact, you guys expected upsets.
yeah,
And so when you go and you have a very tough night against those names that we thought may have beat those guys at the end of the day if we were to bet some money on it, and it seems like you and Dream did, when they overcome that, you cannot give him a C, because in fact it could have been a D if we're thinking about them losing, right?
yeah.
Now, they came out on top. Darius Fulgham, I can't really rate that fight because his opponent, what was his name? Something Pearson. He didn't come to fight. 3 rounds of shutting up, walking back, getting yourself cornered and pushed to the ropes, not throwing one punch, and then really just taking a knee at the very first hit that they land flush, right? In fact, he took other flusher hits and he didn't drop. So it's like this guy didn't come to fight. So Darius Fulgham, he has in my opinion, he has an it factor. He's a very good looking kid from a great state of Texas, right? Um, he is one of the only black fighters that Golden Boy has on their stable. These two young African American fighters have an opportunity to open up the black market to Golden Boy, right? So it was very important that they put him against a very tough fight. It was a lackluster performance by Pearson. He didn't come with any kind of dog. He came, in fact, with quit. And
Oh,
Darius Fulgham, we can't really classify it. Now let's go back to my one of my favorite young fighters.
I think
Really,
that was a fake fight, bro. Dude, listen, this guy went 8 rounds with Trevor McCumbee, the dude who
yeah,
knocked down Caleb Plant. Darius Fulgham was throwing Peter Pan punches, bro.
like
Like
three
there
of
was
them.
no way why Christopher Pearson should have fucking taken the knee like that. It's like, bro, what are you getting hit with, bro? Bro, you knocked out one of the Falcao brothers. Like, dude, Darius Fulgham is not on that level. When I seen that, I was like, bro, it's a fucking big fight, dude. Just get out of here, dude. And then
Yeah.
he
So the thing is this, right?
you should
Look,
be ashamed of himself. I hate seeing shit like that, man.
yeah, no, it's true, but apparently, and this is the problem, right? Apparently, he had an injury on his right knee. Now, it did seem like he was very limited. If you don't have your legs below you, you're not gonna be able to punch. You're not gonna be able to move. You're gonna get caught. You're not gonna be able to provide as much defense to yourself. Not much pop to your punches.
He
So
should have said something.
there you go. He should have said something, right? In fact, do the right thing for the boxing world and don't get paid, but don't go in there and rob the fans of a good night of fighting, right?
Betting.
Now, so at the end of the day, he's gonna get paid. He's not gonna tell anybody anything until maybe the fight after. I think he did hint that he had that injury, so he did tell the people that he was not at 100%. So coming in, we already knew that. So this guy at the end, what I'm trying to say is Pearson may have had better moments when he was healthier, but this was a very, very bad performance by this individual, a very bad outing. Right, so let's just skip all of the Darius Fulgham. I really wanted to watch this kid. I think he has a big responsibility towards Golden Boy, an American black fighter, to trust Golden Boy and give that guy an opportunity. Because again, I agree with a lot of what you stated, homie Ricky, and you too, Dream. Golden Boy Oscar de la Hoya can make stars. How do we know? Because the whole PBC stable was created by that guy, right? Him, Robert Diaz, and Richard Schaefer. Now,
And yo, we don't talk about that snake. Hey,
so no, going back to one of my favorite young fighters.
no, hold on, hold
Um,
on. Let's talk about Richard Schaefer for a bit. So this dude,
why you hate that guy?
basically, right? Fucking with the key man clause, he made sure all of those things had a loophole so PBC can steal all of these fighters that Golden Boy recruited and aspired. You know, there was a story of Keith Thurman when I think he was like 6'8", 10-0 type of thing, and Golden Boy was in attendance. Keith Thurman got dropped in one of the early rounds. You know, he said that he was a bit nervous, and then Oscar De Loyo still signed him, right? Golden Boy was the reason he recruited all of those fighters, because look where Golden Boy is at right now, and where's Richard Schaefer and his Ring Star promotion? Where's Pro Bellum? It's non-existent. So anybody trying to tell me that Richard Schaefer was the running Golden Boy at the time when he got our show, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, that dude was bringing in the fucking talent, not Richard Schaefer. Richard Schaefer was the fucking snake that tried to push him out of the company. It continues to show where's Pro Bellum, where's Ring Star Promotions right now. That's right,
Well,
bankrupt. Where's
well,
Golden Boy?
well, it's because he doesn't know how to match make. He doesn't have the connections, homie Ricky. He's just an attorney. He's just an attorney.
You know who else is an attorney? Kamala
Mm.
Harris, and she took an L too, bro. What you talk about?
So, so we're not gonna talk politics right now because I think a
Not
lot of us are very much uh, happy that it's over, right? So let's just go to the fun stuff in life, boxing. Now, Floyd, kid Austin Schofield, right? I've liked this kid from a long time. Not because he's flawless, not because he's a world beater, not because of anything else besides the fact that he's always exciting, right? And we talked about this the last outing. I told Dream, and I think he pointed that out to me. How do you like his performance now after seeing him dropped after having made all these mistakes? And I just said that just adds to his allure. That just adds to his aura. The fact that he goes out there to entertain and exposes himself will likely get him some losses here and there, but as long as he is able to get the appreciation and the respect of his opponents, and especially of the boxing world, the boxing fans, he has potential to get good fights, to fill up arenas, to entertain us and make some good money behind it. Is he gonna be the best fighter out there? No. Why? Because he's not cautious first. Let's talk about that. Caution first fighters. Now, when we talk about, and I don't try to, put anybody in the box, right? I don't try to say Mexicans have a Mexican style. What Mexicans have is they have a Mexican culture, right? Mexican culture, when it gets manifested in the sport of boxing, is a come forward, aggressive, valiant effort at taking over your opponent and becoming victorious. That's what it means. So they don't take a step back. They never quit. You have to put them through hell. They'll put you to hell. And if you can beat them, guess what? The boxing world, especially the Mexicans, will give you respect because it takes a tough SOB to beat a Mexican, right? But we know that there really isn't such thing as a Mexican style because a Mexican could fight any style. Like, look at this kid that you're talking about, uh, Jordan Fuentes. He's more of a Sandor Martin, cat Jack Catterall type of fighter. He's in the pocket, but he's always leaning back, willing to take one step back to just pull counter, come in forward, counter punch you. Okay, whatever, right? And then there's types like Esteban Navarro, who's more of a Lomachenko. In fact, he's a Bam Rodriguez. Actually, he's more Lomachenko than even Bam Rodriguez is, right? So what I'm trying to say is this: we can't just classify a class of people, a race of people as this or that. It really is something cultural. And the Mexican, it just manifests himself as a come forward, aggressive fighter that'll always give it 100%. Now, put one of those very tough exemplars of Mexican courage against a black fighter who is flawed, and what are you gonna get? One of the most action-packed fights we've had this year. Floyd Schofield fought a guy that both of you guys gave favorite odds to upset the stable fighter. Now, he overcame that. How did he do it? By how you said, being disciplined, not just going in there forward, not just leaning over his front leg to extend his punches and get something, not just popping in the air, spring forward to land the Superman punch. No, he planted his feet well. He stayed in the pocket. He moved enough to get out of the way of his opponent, who's very much like a smaller, less potent, less aggressive pitbull cruise type of fighter. In my opinion, something rough, something along the way, right? But always a feisty fighter, and he overcame that guy, and he actually showed some dog. The fact that he got dropped in the third or was it the fourth round is because he wanted to engage. Why? Because he probably saw, look, he hits hard. I need to get him out of this fight because I don't want to go 10, 12 rounds against this guy. I don't want to do that. So what do? The best way to do that is to stop the back foot bitching and try to go for broke, throw a couple of bolos, and he paid the consequence. Good on Rene Tellez Giron for dropping a guy who's never been dropped in his professional career. That right there shows you that you two were potentially right. This guy was gonna have what it takes to upset the favorite fighter. Unfortunately for him, Floyd Schofield and his father had different plans. They implemented a little more, should we say, patience in the ring, and that got him the win. In my opinion, it's a B, B minus. He's not ready for Shakur. It's okay. You're 22 years old, buddy.
Yeah, no, bro, well said. Yo, Drew, you still there, man?
Yeah.
For sure, brother. Let me ask you guys a question. So you guys talked. Well, Dream talked a little bit about. I mean, Speed talked a little bit about Darius Fulgham. Wasn't a real fight. Now let's talk about the young, undisputed female boxer that beat
Mm.
Chucky La Argentina by knockout. What you guys think about Miss Gabriela Fondora, bro? What the flip, dog? Like, do y'all see that shit?
Yeah,
A
bro. I was
woman
like,
with a knockout stoppage for undisputed? Man, I don't even think Katie Taylor can do stuff like that.
bro, I was like, I was impressed, bro. I was like, God damn, no one's ever knocked out fucking what's her name? Chucky, you said? Oh yeah, La
Yeah,
Chucky. Okay.
Gabriela
Alanis,
Yeah,
Alanis,
Alanis, yeah. But I didn't know her
she's
Alanis.
cute.
yeah, she is. And yeah, she is. And she never been knocked out like that, bro. Like, bro, the fact that she got she was like, dude, my foot got caught, in the first round, or I mean in the first knockout.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
like, oh, the first knockout, or knockdown, I mean. She got knocked down and she was like, "Oh, my foot, my foot." And I wish they showed the foot, and they never did, but uh, you know, she blamed it on that, but I just feel like she was just caught off guard, like, and that was just her instant reaction, kind of embarrassed, like, "God damn, like I got caught off guard." Then it happened again, bro, but this time her whole upper body just went to the floor, bro, and she was just like, "Damn," so she was just like off balance, bro, and that was inevitable, man. Like it was a good stoppage, and Gabriella did her thing, bro. Like Alanis looked good. She made me a little nervous, like because I was like, I had some money uh on the decision, but I can't be mad at it, like just the fact that I expected you to go the distance and you just did it in in great fashion, like just the way
Spectacular.
spectacular fashion, like literally this was the most important fight of your whole career,
Mm-hmm.
and it that was literally the best performance of
Mm-hmm.
your whole entire career.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, like, as what's the name, Mannix was talking about her, saying, oh, she could be the one of the greatest of all time, but it's just, I mean, yeah, she could, I just don't want people to say like, you know like, what's her name, uh, Clarissa Shields, like, I don't want that, like, like, not yet, she's like pretty much what Inoue is, like, Inoue still got to deal with the 120 pounders before he starts talking about Tank, and I just feel like she before she even deals with, I'm trying to think of names right now, but like, I know Alicia Bumgarner's out there, but she's like 20 pounds bigger, which is a huge
Yeah.
difference, and she hits hard. So, I'm trying to think of who
Yeah,
else is out
Was
there.
Iniesta retired?
because she's on that juice.
Yeah. So I just feel like, she'll have a lot of options, bro, because of her height.
Yeah.
She's literally my height, bro. That's crazy. And
Yeah.
and she has my reach, and that's crazy, bro. So, yeah, this chick is she's gonna be she's a star she's already a star.
Ooh,
This fight made her a star, bro.
Mm,
So,
you know what, guys? I don't know about that dream. I'm just gonna
um,
let you know this is no, and I'm just gonna tell you why, right?
yeah,
Um.
never mind.
So
She
look,
has 17K followers though, but I'm just saying, like, within the community of boxing, like, she's up there. Like, to us, she's like, there's only very, like, how many undisputed champs is there? She's the youngest one. So um I just feel like she deserves her praise, but yeah,
no, 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 without a doubt, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, if I was to tell you the metrics of that fight, it's not getting the kind of it's
she'll
not
get
getting the kind of attraction or
my
the
star.
numbers that they should, you know. And
She's my star. No, I'm just kidding.
no, so the reason I know this, right, is because I've been uploading some of these screaming madman videos, right, and he made one about that particular fight. Now, when you upload these shorts, right, time is of the essence. You know, there's all kinds of metrics, but basically you want to release the stuff out there quick, right? Now, I watched a lot of these fights, and we had the opportunity to get some of these reaction videos from the screamer. And of course, since Fundora was one of the earlier fights, and it was actually one of the most important fights, we got to upload that video before any of them. In fact, we uploaded that one day or two before we got to work on the Darius Fulgham and Floyd Schofield ones. Right now, these were 2 days late, guys. We uploaded the Darius Fulgham and the Floyd Schofield shorts on Monday. The fights took place on Saturday. The Fundora fight, we uploaded that like around midnight. It had all of Sunday to gain traction, all of Monday to gain traction. And to tell you the truth, if you go there and watch that short, it has less than 100 views. Now, my this is ridiculous. 3 week old fight starring Liam Cameron and Ben Whitaker is gaining almost 20,000 views a day. Instead of going down in popularity, everybody's clicking the likes, everybody's engaging, everybody's just commenting, and that's bringing in more views, massive subscribers. In fact, when I uploaded that video, it had 700 views, guys. I mean, 700 followers. I think I had barely beaten, I got it over 700.
it's
I'm
because,
about,
like Golden Boy said, the UK fans don't know what they're fucking watching, bro.
wait.
You know what I mean? They're
I'm
so
about
worried about
40.
Ben Whitaker, bro. Who the fuck is Ben Whitaker fought, bro? The
Well,
minute he fights somebody with a pulse, he feels the
so
temperature and he decides to fake a moon landing and be like, my boo boo, my El Inco. Bro, what are you talking about, bro? And that's
look,
all
the
that goofy people that watch that shit, that's like
so
Oh my god.
Credit to the UK people. I know you sound like a hater. You're thinking they're blowing up this video in benefit of Ben Whitaker. In fact, the video and the reactions have been very critical, very harsh of Ben Whitaker. I'm trying to convince the people, right, through the comments, that Ben Whitaker did the right thing by taking the opportunity to halt the action. Call it what you will. You call it quitting. I call it taking the right way out of a fight from a dirty fighter that pushed this guy out the ring and exposed his life and his health to harm. Not just in the ring, by the rabbit punches, not by the the illegal nape, back of the head shots, not because of the forearm to the neck, none of those, not the pushing over. I'm talking about the fact that when he pushed him over, he could have landed on him, hurt him, and all kinds of stuff. And the reason why that fight halted, in my opinion, is because Ben Whitaker had to do everything to make sure that he could see proper health to fight another day. And if anybody led to that premature conclusion of the fight, it is Liam Cameron and exuberance and his dirtiness to take this guy out.
You're
Right?
right.
He did so much illegal tactics that at the end of the day, Ben Whitaker said, "Bro, you pushed me out the ring. I'm not fighting you anymore." And I said, "You know what? You go, bro. You go, bro. Because I'm a type of fan. I'm the type of fan that I want fair fights, right?
Okay,
This
so
is the here's wait. Because
Orlando
you're gonna cut me
Salido,
off right when I'm making my point. A
you
lot of
already
the
been
time, a
making
lot of the
it.
times, didn't you just say that, right? You said Ben Whitaker, who has he fought? So the reason he hasn't fought nobody. Listen, bro, you have a short memory. You're interrupt. I can't hear myself because your voice is so low. I mean, so high. Ben Whitaker has been looking like a drunken master. He's been looking like Emmanuel Augustus and Maromero Pais all in one, on account that he's been fighting smaller fighters with not the best records and definitely not the kind of amateur Olympic pedigree that he comes from. That is called being unfair. You're padding your records by fighting guys that you're much better of. Hey, call it creating a career or whatever, but that is just part of the sport, right? At the end of the day, it boils down to not being fair. So when somebody starts to not play fair against them, why are we going to criticize them, right? Now, long story short, what I'm trying to get at is this: I'm getting around 20,000 views from a 3 week old Ben Whitaker fight when when Fundora, Lady Fundora, Gabby Fundora, just knocked the block off of Argentinian fighter that I don't think she's ever been dropped. You know who she beat in order to get those 3 belts?
Marlon
You,
Esparza from Texas.
she beat her twice.
Twice, bro.
Twice. And you know who Marlon Esparza beat?
Twice.
Yeah, she beat her twice. Yeah. So
Listen, bro. Those
Martin
listen,
Esparza robbed her the first time. Now, there
bro.
was so much brouhaha and commotion because Martin Esparza got that fight in Texas that they actually booed Martin Esparza in her own backyard because they thought the Argentine won, that Golden Boy had to force a rematch. They said, you know what? This is controversial. You have no other fighters. Let's just take it right now. And they took it again. And Gabriela Alanis, La Chuki, she ended up beating her fair and square the second time around. That's how she got 3 belts. Now,
If Gabriela
Gabby,
Pandora was from the UK, people would be like, oh my God, dude, Eddie Hearn's got a champion. Eddie Hearn. But why are they so quiet right now with Gabriela Fundora? I thought UK fans were universal boxing fans. Nah, those motherfuckers are just as tribal. See, you're trying to be this pandering thing with Ben Whitaker and shit and all this thing. Let me
pandering. What are you talking about?
listen. He took the easy way out, man. He took the fair way out. He took the right way
He
out.
he took the right way out.
Guess
Yeah.
what real fight. Hold on. Guess what real fighters do? Lomachenko versus Salido. How many low blows did Lomachenko have? And how many times did and Lomachenko take the honest or the easy, correct way like Ben Whitaker out?
Yeah. And you know what you called them? You know what you called them?
Hold on. You call him a real fucking fighter.
No, you. What did you call him?
I call him he lost that night. He got beat.
Yeah, because he got hit in the balls how many times?
Well, hold on. So you're saying that Lomachenko should have, complained and took 5 minutes like Alexander Usyk versus
There you
Daniel
go.
Dubois, huh?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Exactly. You see, you condone the tomfoolery. Hey, I'm just nah. I get what you're saying, man. But nah, bro. Ben Whitaker, that's not how you fight, bro. Listen. There's that trainer, Bob Santos. I think that's his name. He could be a manager. I think
Sanchez.
Bob Santos. Man, shut your ass up, man. Excuses, bro. Look, Bob Santos told one of his fighters, "Hey, bro, if the ref ain't calling it, like if this dude's being dirty, guess what? Give him a taste of his own medicine. Hit the motherfucker illegal too. Until the fucking ref does his fucking job. If he's hitting you behind the head, you hit the motherfucker behind the head." I forgot what fight Bob Santos was saying that to one of his fighters.
Yeah.
But he said that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A lot of these UK guys, Conor Benn and many more champions from the UK, guys like Ben Davids, their trainer, with Tyson Fury, for example, they're teaching their fighters to hit behind the ear on purpose. A lot of these things aren't accidental. So when they get a little bit of the foul treatment on behalf of them, guess what? They like to bitch and complain. And like you said, they like to take the Ben Whitaker easy way out. Lomachenko didn't bitch, bro. Yeah, he acknowledges like, hey, ref, bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, this dude's hitting me in my fucking nuts. When are you going to interject and cement your, and they really didn't. Or
Yeah, he tried to do that, though.
Oh.
No, Ben Whitaker tried to do that. Ben Whitaker tried to defend himself.
Of Daniel Dubois, who we know knocked out Anthony Joshua, something that Usyk couldn't do.
And he probably should have gotten the credit for knocking out Usyk. But the thing is, Usyk stood up for himself. Usyk demanded his rights to be protected by the third man in the ring. And what happened after that? That allowed him to stay in the fight long enough to change the way that the third man in the ring was handling the fight outcome. And what happened? He ended up beating that guy and ended up becoming undisputed champion as a result of that. See, the thing is this.
Drew, am I wrong, bro? Am I wrong, Drew? Bring some sanity, bro. Bring some neutralness. Am I wrong or what's going on, man?
My bad. I was looking at some other page right now. So,
Dream, I want you to think like a fighter, bro. Don't think like. Look, I want you to think like a fighter, and if you can, think as a boxing fan. But what if you were Ben Whitaker and a guy is rabbit punching you, hitting you at the nape of the neck? He pushes you with his forearms to your chest. He digs the bottom of his head under your chin so that he lifts your head up, right? And he's pushing you back with wide steps outside of the rope. Okay.
Inside fighting. Brandon Rios do it to Mike Alvarado all the time. Robert Durant got in your
Dream. What would you do? What would you do?
Dig up in the uppercuts to your bicep. That's what they do, bro. It's called inside fighting. So you got.
What would you do, Dream? What would you do?
I mean, you gotta be dirty with him, bro. Like,
well, yeah, of course. But what if you're not?
On the balls, like Salido hit Lomachenko 35 fucking times. Taste of your own medicine, dudes. Listen. Virgil Hunter told Andre Ward one time in sparring or in the amateurs, "Damn, Hunk, this fucking kid right here in this sparring, he's fucking good. This motherfucker a little dirty." Then you know what Virgil Hunter told Andre Ward? Get him to stop. Mm-hmm. That's what you do. You get the other dude to stop. You take matters into your own hands because, look, in the boxing ring, you don't fight with guns, bro. Put the guns down and you fight with your fist. That's it, bro. And I'm just trying to be cool. You get what I'm saying? You fight with your fucking hands, bro. Guns down, hands up. Period. So Virgil Hunter told Andre Ward, like Bob Santos told his fighters, like the Mexican G says. Robert Garcia said the same thing. If these dudes are doing nasty shit, give them back a taste of their own medicine.
Hey, this is a family-friendly show, bro. You don't have to use those type of words.
Wait, what did I say?
You said S-H-I-T.
S-H-I-T?
Yeah, you said S-H-I-T. We're grown, man. We have a college education terminology. We don't have to use those type of vulgarities.
Go to college. Hey, I didn't even go to college.
You just said the gun word, and you're tripping about.
Yo, I know, dude. What the flick, man? Get this dude out of here.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is this. Abby Fundora didn't get the attention she deserves for knocking out. You know, that's probably one of the most convincing ways to get to become undisputed since Canelo took out Plant
of the year, and no one's talking about it. You know why? You know why? Because she's not from the UK or signed with Eddie Hearn.
No, no, no. Because guess what? Because the Mexicans ain't supporting her. She's a Mexican.
No, actually, I disagree. Okay, okay, now I know. So Gabriella, I disagree, man. Like she's actually well known all around the world now, bro. Like she is just being followed by the hardcores. That's the only.
Oh, so you're trying to say that the shorts I'm uploading are of lesser quality. That's why they don't get the views.
Wait, say it again.
It's nothing, man. Nothing.
Uh,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that
I
what accounts for the fact that nobody's watching this short. It's
well,
actually a very fun short, in my opinion.
what short? Your short?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Every
I'm
time he
short.
comes on here, bro, he's just self promoting, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Hey, dude, now, so Gabriella, she's the first, or she is the youngest undisputed champion ever, bro. Like she is, uh, and she's a female. Like it's hard to do it in the lower weight classes. On top of that, bro, like she is, on her way, bro. To like she just needs more names, but I think the seed is planted, and I just feel like the accolades are there. She has the belts now, and she calls the shots in a sense, you know. So I think she can. She definitely has a stature to move up, bro. Like
Yeah.
I think
Oh yeah.
the
Oh
style.
yeah,
It's
bro.
but what it is her style, bro. Like I think she's actually a sound and fundamental fighter, bro. Like she is good with that right hand, or
Somebody says she's actually better than her brother.
man, she's looking better, bro. Like than her brother, actually, bro. Like she is, like
Actually,
so.
not really, bro. She took a lot of shots, overhand rights.
Well,
I mean,
no,
overhand
Alanis.
lefts from Alanis, like
That's Alanis.
crazy.
That's Alanis, though, bro. Like she gives anyone issues, bro. Like I actually watched the Marlon Esparza fight, and that was a super close fight, bro. Like she was doing her fucking thing. Like she actually, I remember the odds. They were like fucking even, you know. So like I think she won. She beat her, right? She beat Marlon Esparza.
Yep,
I,
twice.
you know why? Because I bet on that fight and I won a good amount of money, and I was like, I just felt like Marlon Esparza like barely edged her out, but then I was like, Alanis got that, you know, like I don't know, she was just way too active, and she gives anyone issues, bro. She's going to give anyone issues, and what Gabriella did, she did what no one else did, bro. Like that was done, bro. Like you know,
Yep.
so and Alanis is world class, bro. Like she will give anybody issues in that those weight classes. So for her to
Yeah.
stop her, bro, for her to stop her, I think, man,
And
that's
the way, bro, she like bent
speaks
her
volumes,
back, and there was no way that lady was getting up.
and it's
That
her
was,
reach. It's her
yeah,
reach as well. You know, like she will, she's willing to be in the fire, bro. But I did see her kind of hurt a little bit, you know, just a little bit for a second, you know, and then she actually recovered really fast. I forget what point of the fight that was, but she did get hurt. I forget what, and then she just had heart, bro. Like that's what she showed, in that instance. But you know, fucking Gabriella, bro, she's that chick, bro. Like she's actually, you know, if she really impressed me, bro, I was like,
Are
wow,
you gonna make a shirt and a boxing card for her? Nah,
baby.
show. I respect that, bro. And I'll be your first client.
hey, homie Ricky. Yeah, no, I will definitely support a shirt like that. Hey, homie Ricky, do you mind if I read a couple of these messages, these comments from our commenters, or do you want to do it?
Now feel free, man.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to take the opportunity of wishing a good even fall to Mexican boxing number one. I run into this gentleman everywhere. He really is not really capping, really, right?
He's talk to you.
Because he's always just supporting his people, the Mexican fighter. Everywhere he goes, he says Mexican boxing is number one, and he speaks like it, and he represents like it. But I'm noticing that a lot of the stuff that he's commenting is not just limited to knowledge about Mexican fighters. He actually seems to know boxing. And in fact, this is the second time that I've gotten to read a couple of his comments. I think I was able to read some of his prior ones for the other episode, that he was talking about other fighters that are not Mexican, and he seemed to know them like by experience. And I was like, who are these guys that this guy is talking about, right? So it always impresses me when there's people that know more about boxing names than I do, or that they can remember. I guess maybe that shouldn't be too impressive because I have a very bad memory because of the drugs. But still, I just wanted to say Mexican boxing seems to know his stuff. And he says Zurdo versus Billy and Cepeda and Farmer and Oscar Duarte, many more. I guess that's one of Turkey Ali Sheik's fights that he's going to be doing. And he was talking, of course, about how it seems to be a good thing that Turkey Ali Sheik has attained the Ring magazine and the belt as well because he likes the undisputed Turkey Sheik belt over the one that the Ring magazine is attached to, right? And to tell you the truth, it really is an impressive belt. It's beautiful. Turkey Sheik, he's got a lot of creative geniuses behind him. You know, the people that make those trailers for his fights, the guys who design the belts, they're really investing in the sport. And remember, I am a big fan of Turkey Al Sheikh. I had some opportunities to criticize him. I had some things to say where I thought he was influencing the sport in a negative way, but he seems to come back and just make up for those shortcomings, make up for that misdirection, and I think he's on the roll. In fact, I'm sure you guys already talked about this. He picked up Queensbury from Mr. Frank Warren. Apparently, this guy is going to be promoting Queensbury, Mr. Frank Warren fights starting April of 2025. They're all going to come out in the zone. It seems like the zone has at the end survived all the attempts to take it out, all the naysaying of the PBC, of Oscar de la Hoya, a Golden Boy, and even Bob Arum in Top Rank, where they said, "Who watches that? What is that? That is a nap. This is television." This guy right here, Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and the engineers at the technology company, The Zone, they have produced a product that's consolidating all of organized boxing, and man, it just keeps getting better and better. The only thing that I fear is that it can become a monopoly where they will corner the market and will be forced to pay whatever prices they want us to pay because they have every single fight every week, day in, day out. That's the part that I fear. I just hope that the amount of fights that they put up and the excitement will bring up more viewers so that it'll make up for the investment in the technology and the attainment of these companies so that don't have to necessarily jack up the rates. But if they went up for another $5 and we pay $30 a month, I think I'm paying $30 a month right now, 35, whatever. Okay, it's starting to become a little pricey. But if you got ESPN, Queensbury, Matchroom, Golden Boy, and all these other promotions like Sturm and KOK and MMA and whatever Bellator, I think it would still be worth it. But yeah, I just wanted to wish Mexican boxing number one and the Mexican G a good even fall. And they're very, very animated, very, very chatty today. The Mexican G ends up by saying, "I'm not a fan of Turk. He's just trying to infiltrate American boxing." Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, we had our own leaders. The Mexican, we had leaders to represent boxing at the top, at the highest echelon. We had Golden Boy, who for almost 20 years put it down, created some of the best fighters out there. And what did our leaders do? He blew it by letting his lawyers screw him over because he was addicted to coke and hookers, right? What did we do when we allowed another American, Mr. Al Heyman, to take over those fighters? He destroyed those careers. He put all of these fighters' careers and their fights behind a paywall. After giving us freebies for 2 years, he started to screw us over for like 5, making us pay for even Gervonta Tank Davis undercards. It's ridiculous. And the only one that seems to be doing something good is, of course, Mr. Bob Arum. But, you know, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So, anyways, guys, look, Gabby Fundora became undisputed. That's an incredible fight. Floyd Schofield has what it takes to become a star. They need to move him well. I think this was a great fight. I don't have any concerns about him. Is he going to lose? Yeah, he's going to lose. Is he ready for a Shaq? No. Is he ready for, let's say, a Baranchik? Man, I was going to say Lomachenko. But why not? Throw him out there. Throw him out there. Get that old man out of there. If you can beat that guy, retire him. We know one thing. he's not gonna. Well, man, I was just gonna say something. He's not gonna destroy you, but yeah, he will. He'll destroy him.
Yo, bro, the
Yeah, man.
Mexican G hit us with a fucking world star comment, bro. He goes, "I'm not a big fan of Turk. He's trying to infiltrate American boxing. Turk needs to hop on his camelback and find his way back to the 70s."
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
Oh
one.
my god, dude.
Yeah,
That's fucking funny, dude. That's the
yeah,
kind
man.
of shit that's gonna get my channel closed, dog.
Nah,
Hey,
Turkey is
so
cool. He's tough. He could take it.
Oh
yeah,
man,
so what other
that's
fights were
fucking
there,
funny,
bro?
dude. That's some funny shit.
I'm trying to see right now. I'm looking at it.
Well, that was a
That
golden
fight.
boy dream. We had, of course,
Oh,
the
that's right.
top rank fights, right?
Oh yeah,
We had
yeah, yep.
who was it? Like all of the
I had
um
Oh, that's some funny shit.
yeah.
God,
Well, see, that's the thing though. Those fights underperformed. They weren't very good. You had what's the guy's name? The guy with
Morataya.
the no Conceição versus Oshak
Oh, that's right. My
Foster.
bad.
That was whatever, right? It really
that
was a
was a good
whatever
fight.
fight.
That was a good fight. What?
What did you think,
Okay.
Dream?
Yeah, no, I was actually locked into the zone fights just because
Mm-hmm.
like they actually had my attention. What got my
Mm-hmm.
attention was obviously the Floyd Schofield versus Rene Telez. Just because the possibility of Rene Telez actually hurting Floyd, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was more likely to happen rather than anything else. I mean, and it did, but Floyd still ended up, on top. But the undisputed bout with Fondora and Alanis, that one was a good reason to stay locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like,
Did you see the Beck the Bully fight?
yeah, and I got to watch that, and honestly, just up like from the bottom from the top all the way to the bottom, bro. Like Jordan Fuentes, like ended up opening up the prelims, and got the decision. Uh, Fights at 119, so he's small. He's smaller than I thought. I thought he was gonna do like 122 or something like that. But yeah. So that one, and then so he opened up, and then right after that was Joel Idiate, the guy you just showed right now, Rick. Uh, yeah, he just fought. He fights at 147, so he's a welterweight. Um, so yeah, and then Asa Stevens. I don't know who that is. I think it sounds familiar though. Um, yeah, and then Darius Fulgham. That was right after that. And after that was Eric Tudor, and then it was
That was
Fondura,
all right.
obviously, and so on. But yeah, that up, those cards like Top Rank is just, I don't know. I don't want to see the same fight um between Shockey and Conceso. Like I knew I was gonna get the exact same fight, but
Yeah.
they were just gonna play chess a little differently, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, um, I didn't see anything too crazy in the highlights. I'm a highlight watcher when it came down to that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely just skipped golden top rank fights. I just did. I mean, there was no reason to change the channel, right? There was no reason to hop apps from one to the next, because every single fight for Golden Boy just seemed to be a very good one. There was, except of course the Darius Fogum, right? But you had a couple of, you know, look, I was pretty disappointed in the top rank fights. I really was, especially Oshaki Foster versus Konsei Sal. The first one wasn't that good in the first place. I don't know why they decided to make a rematch. Just guess because people thought Oshaki Foster got robbed. Okay, whatever, move on. But you just want that guy to hold on to the belts, and you're lacking creativity if you're trying to make these same guys fight. In this fight, I think Robson Conceição won by 1 or 2 rounds, maybe even 3, depending on what you were looking at.
Yeah, I heard it flipped. I heard that the narrative pretty much flipped. Like it
Yeah,
was
like they robbed the wrong guy, right?
yeah, now they robbed the other guy, you know, so it's like oh shit.
Well, whatever. It's one of those recency bias kind of things, right?
Yeah.
What occurred was easily the first few rounds of the fight, the first third of the fight, easily went the way of Rob Cinco Cesar. Then you can say that the second third of the fight was more competitive, and towards the end third of the fight, that's when Shaq started to have more success. In fact, I think it was in the 10th round when he really hurt Robson, and then Robson started to come back. But by then, the damage was done. He had already taken that round, so there was a couple of rounds that changed the momentum towards the end in favor of Shaq. But I mean, that's just the end. If you remember and you consider everything that took place at the beginning 5 or 6 rounds, it clearly, in my opinion, wins in favor of Robson, then why do you get so impressed that the 10th, 11th, and 12th rounds are so good for Shaq to the point that you think he should win? Right? So it's a very forgettable fight. A lot of people want to see a rematch. I don't think that deserves that kind of attention. The fights are not impressive. The guys themselves aren't impressive. Or Shaq's fights are not actually very entertaining. The
Like
only reason he had, hmm?
there's no fight that really deserves a trilogy, you know. Like I can you can name very few trilogies that, you know, I don't think you can really that weren't entertaining, you know. They have to be entertaining, you
True.
know.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. And one of the most entertaining trilogies out there, guys. Here is uh Marcus's little brother Rafa Marquez versus Israel Vasquez.
Amazing fighters, amazing fights, fucking legend shit, bro.
And you
Amazing.
know
Yeah.
what? And the reason it's timely that we're bringing him up is because Israel Vasquez is not doing well in his health right now, guys.
Yeah.
In fact, the WBA, I think what it was, the WBO or WBA, I can't remember. They actually sent out a request that the boxing fans, the boxing world, should send some GoFundMe money to one of the best Mexican fighters that put up one of the best trilogies. In fact, after that trilogy,
Wait,
both
there's
of
a
these
GoFundMe
guys
to help
basically
him out?
retired.
You said there's a GoFundMe to help him out. Let me research real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
I don't mind donating. How they beat
Yeah,
the
while you look for that, I wanted to say, yeah, I agree with you. Mexican boxing number one. I remember when I was watching, because everybody was following a Siniesa Estrada, right? I did not like Marlene Esparza.
yeah,
Marlene Esparza was,
he's actually dealing with cancer, and you have
oh,
guys like Vanes Martirosyan. You have guys like Vanes Martirosyan donating $500, bro. I don't know. They're trying to raise 50,000, and they have as of right now 3,700 something dollars.
yeah. I think we should post some of that stuff to the community members. Every dollar counts. If we have 1,000 followers and each of them just supported $1, that would be 1,000 to help achieve that goal. It's coming together as a community, but yeah, it's unfortunate that, well, I think he already lost his sight, right? He lost blind. He went blind in one of his eyes already as a result of the wars that he had against Juan Manuel Marcus's little brother. In fact, again, I'm trying to be emphatic here. The conclusion of those three trilogies, those three fights right there, ended up leading to the retirement of both of these individuals. And maybe those fights took place 20, 25, 30 years ago, right?
Rick
Whatever.
Rick is
Um,
gonna put Roy Jones Jr. as his name.
what?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
no, and so so if anybody out there, yeah, but no, going back to that Mexican boxing, yeah, I remember. I well, you
Nah,
know,
man, I'm not Roy Jones Jr. My name is Ricardo Vargas, bro. Uh,
Ricardito.
yeah, man. Nah, but what do you guys talking about Roy Jones Jr.?
Nah, because like you know how they put Vanes Maritosun,
Well,
like
because
what?
that's Vanes Martirosyan. He actually donated money, bro.
Yeah, but what if somebody just put their that name? You know, like what if they lied? But I
You
don't
would
know.
want to give Vanes Monterosian credit? Nah, bro. Vanes Monterosian is a stand-up dude.
Imagine just picking a random ass guy and naming
Yeah, you
yourself
know, you
after.
can put Canelo Alvarez, and people are like, oh shit.
Yogasta Valle really, really outclassed and beat Siniesa Estrada. Um, Marlon Esparza, I think they fought twice, guys. Uh, and
Yeah,
I
but it
think
was the
Marlon Esparza
Argentine.
robbed her and won, and she
There was the
never allowed the
Argentinian
rematch.
Yudica. I forgot her name, but she beat her, bro. Her name is Leonela
Oh
Yudica.
yeah,
Paola, she beat Siniesta Estrada, and they gave it to Siniesta Estrada. And to the point where Mexican boxing #1 is saying with Yocasta Valle, I had Valle beating Siniesta Estrada, bro.
clear as day, bro. Clear as day.
Yeah, that was
That was
crazy.
I was like, bro, this girl. I was like, Siniestra Estrada really sucks. That's what I thought at the end. I'm like, this girl sucks. And at the end, I was like, oh yeah, Yocasta. Yocasta's gonna take this, right? And she got that's what I call a robbery, guys. Like
Mhm.
Yocasta just looked so much better than her in every single thing. But you know what? The lady retired. She gave us good fights, win or lose. But yeah, you know, and Marlon Esparza. For me to admit that Siniesa Estrada may have lost to Marlon, that's saying a lot because Marlon used to rub me the wrong way. It's like, oh, you arrogant Texan. Like, oh, I'm so better than you. I'm from this great state of Texas. I'm like, oh man, you just get on my nerves, lady. And she was not even that good. She was pillow fisted fighter. But for me to give her credit and say that she may have beaten Siniesa, hey, that says something.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. I think that's one of the reasons why, a couple also reasons that Siniesa Estrada retired. You know, from the sport of boxing.
I mean, she sucks or what?
I'm sure that it's a taxing sport. I'm sure that she probably wants to start a family and things of that nature. But you know, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of question marks in her career, and I think she just thought too much of herself. Especially, you can see how disgruntled she became towards Oscar De La Hoya.
Mhm.
And honestly, man, I'm not, not trying to be a dick or anything because I know you guys are big fans of her, but I won't miss that style. There's you know, I think girls like Gabriela Fondora would have pieced her apart. I didn't think much about Super Bad's boxing style. I didn't think too much about her whatever's, bro. Like, you
Yeah.
know,
So
Yudica,
so
Yudica and Yocasta Valle have a much more appealing style, much more friendly style with proper technique. I remember there was some little herky jerky swinging of her arms that she would do, bro. Iniesta Estrada's like, bro, why you fainting and like moving your hands behind your back like some Vic Darcinian shit when he fought Nonito Donaire. I remember Vic Darcinian would like, throw his hand back and like, what are you doing? Look, so you guys can know what I'm talking about, bro. Hold on. Jesus is a stupid ass shit.
I don't know why I can't join the chat and comment with the Mexican boxing #1 or the Mexican G or anything. I don't know why this stupid phone doesn't allow me to join the chat. It's ridiculous. But I did want to say one thing now that you're mentioning her Mexican boxing. Sky Nicholson is the Shakur Stevens of female boxing. I dislike her. She is so boring. I look, I'm a big fan of boxing. I don't miss any fights. If the TV is turned on, there's boxing, I'm watching it. I cannot sit there and watch Sky Nicholson fight. There's no way. And she literally it sucks more than Shakur Stevens. I don't know why you're giving her so many credits. You're Mexican boxing #1. She's the opposite.
Nah, I mean I don't feel no ways towards her, bro. Like she's doing her thing. I mean, this is boxing, man. She's hitting and not hit, and like the other chick that she just fought, like could have actually put her away, man. She could have actually um connected, but she had trouble, like cutting off that ring. Hey, man, let me know when you want to talk about this weekend's fights, man.
Yeah.
Let me
Remember?
read a couple of these comments. Um, Dang, Kamala Harris voters really mad. Yes, she is boring, but she pretty, and I think that's why she can get away with it. Kamala had no supporters. I don't know. Did I miss a comment? Hold on, let me go to the studio. When she literally on the other side of the world, nobody beats God dang. I don't know. So you just kind of jumped to Kamala for sure. No, man. Yeah, dude. She had no look. You guys want to talk about politics or nah?
Well, it's already 10:20, bro, in Pacific time. With that kind of
We
talk,
already know our president, so no, just kidding.
no, it's actually important because to discuss politics from okay, I'm just gonna go out there and say it, guys. We should talk about it, but I'm just gonna preface the following by saying something that you really shouldn't care. It shouldn't bother you. It should. I mean, it shouldn't make me look bad before your eyes. But I'm just gonna say it. I'm. I. I am. I was a lifelong Democrat, right? For the longest time, as of last Friday, when I registered undeclared, I had been known as a Democrat, right? Now, that doesn't mean that I've always voted Democrat. I've always voted, you know, with the idea that I was voting for what the state or my municipality, my county, what my state required at the moment in order for it to progress and advance and improve, right? And in fact, I've voted for presidents. Yes, a lot of the majority under democratic presidential candidates, but I have also voted for independents. I voted for I think I voted for Bernie Sanders one time. and I think I voted for Kanye West. No lie, because I was so disappointed with the candidates, right? So what I'm trying to say is this: I may have declared myself a lifelong Democrat, but I've always had the impression that I was voting for what was better, not for necessarily for myself, but for my state and the country, right? So that allowed me to think outside of the box and not just vote straight up and down blue. But there was so many things that went wrong, and I could smell a Donald J. Trump victory a long time ago. There was no way this man was not gonna win. Why? Because the Democrat people that I know of, the type of Democrats like me, this party does not represent. If you reflect on everything that this party has become, who they represent, who they pander to, that has never been anything democratic. I'm a hippie. Think about it. I voted for peaceful things. When you have a party that starts warmongering, sending billions of dollars to countries that are in war, profiteering from that, people like myself are gonna be turned off because we love to be left alone. We love for us to live free and without any kind of strife in our lives. We're not ever gonna approve of our country going to foreign countries to take over, to dethrone, for coup d'etats. We're not gonna destabilize Latin American countries, Muslim countries, because we want to make money. That's never been the Democratic Party, right? Now, you could say that the Republican Party has been warmongers, pro business, and that also includes military industrial complex. You can go and say that. But at the end of the day, we all know that the Reds and the Blues, the Democrats and the Republicans, all they all work for the same people, the elites, the bankers, the financiers, the big corporations. They just play different roles. But at least when you vote, right? A lot of the time when we vote according to what they're telling us. Don't mind the fact that at the end of the day, they say one thing and do another. They always deceive us, right? At the end of the day, we still fall for the same tricks, which is if they play nice and this guy says he wants peace and he's not going to go to war and he's going to close the borders, we're going to believe that that's what we want. At the end of the day, they always betray us. But the Democratic Party no longer speaks like the party that I used to vote for. And I smelt that uh, many months ago, and I said Donald J. Trump actually speaks more like the old kind of Democrats, like the Clintons, like those kind of Democrats that made me vote for them. And I was, you know, how many people are gonna flip Democratic to red just to vote Kamala and this type of Democrat out? And that's what happened, guys. We can talk about it. Right now is not the time, but I will say this: there was no way Donald J. Trump was not gonna lose. In fact, I actually thought California was gonna turn Republican.
What about you, Drew? Well, what you think? Did you go vote, bro?
Yeah.
You
Sorry.
want to talk about it, or you're like, oh, like,
Um,
well, I don't
no,
really.
it's because I was eating. That's why.
Okay, you good?
Um. No, I voted, bro. I voted for Trump. So
Gabe
yeah.
Itch.
Huh?
Gabe Itch. There is a presidential candidate by the name of Gabe, last name Itch.
No way.
Mm,
No,
yeah. I don't have. I
no,
feel no way. Well,
I don't
like
think so,
we'll,
bro.
we'll, we'll you know, we're kind of not fucked, but like either way, we move a certain direction, like regardless, you know. So I don't know. It's just we'll
So
see
yeah,
how it
man.
crumbles.
Yeah. Hey, what you eating, bro?
Tacos.
You eating Trump tacos, huh? Now I feel you. So let me say this.
Hey, raise your hand if you ever ate Trump tacos. I ate Trump tacos. Some of
Mm-mm.
the best tacos in my life. Homie Ricky, you want to tell them about Trump tacos?
Nah, look, bro.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, man. Um, I don't like Donald Trump.
Yep.
Like that. That's just a straight up fact. I don't like the dude. You know what I
Uh,
mean? I think he's a fucking sorry ass president. You know, I gave him 4 years, and what the motherfucker do? Everybody talks about, oh man, but look at the first 3 years. What about his fourth year? You know what I mean? But I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I couldn't vote for Kamala and the Democrats, bro. Everything that they stand for right now is ridiculous, bro. I couldn't believe it. There's
You
this
left
thing
the
called the
blank.
25th Amendment, right, guys? And basically, I'm gonna paraphrase it. It's essentially if a president becomes ill or incompetent to lead, you put the vice president in, right? That's essentially what happens. The thing is this, though, we didn't vote for Kamala Harris to be president. It was she's a vice president. We wanted her in that place in that role. You get what I'm saying? What the Democrats should have done is had another primary election, nominees, and just be like, all right, bro, throw in Gavin Newsom, throw in Joe Biden if you guys want, throw in Kamala Harris, throw in Robert Kennedy Jr., throw in Tim Watts, whatever. You guys got to do it quick in less than a month or 2 weeks, but you got to do it. You can't just put her in. Nobody really knows who she is.
Yeah, I think Gavin had a better chance.
You get what I'm saying? Absolutely, bro. And here's another thing, bro. She's like a drunk soccer mom. You know what I mean? When she would talk and in her speeches, it's just like, oh, we gotta stay woke, guys. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like giving prisoners and people that are incarcerated the right to have sex change operations under my fucking tax dollar? What the are you guys talking about, bro? Like, dude, I can go on. So these things, I was like, bro. As a Democrat, that's not the type of shit that I stand for. So just logical and deducing reasoning, I had to sign with the Republicans. No, bro, I love that dude, JD Vance. Not love him, but I have hella respect for him. I was watching that Joe Rogan podcast and the interview. Bro, this is a solid ass VP. You know what I mean? And JD Vance and Tim Watts, when they had the debate on the State of the Union type of thing, it was very amicable, very respectful. Salute to both. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna go back to going Donald Trump. Why I didn't like the motherfucker. And back in 2016, so this dude was running up against Hillary Clinton, right? And I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking like this, but I'm gonna give you guys the real spiel. So a lot of people didn't trust Hillary Clinton, but there's this documentary way back when I think it was Sicko with a documentary by Michael Moore or one of those presidents. Hillary Clinton was very young, very pretty, and people loved her. She stood by her husband. Bill Clinton, when the whole Marilyn Manson, was it Marilyn Monroe, cheating scandal and all of these things, right? I'm not going to go too much into detail because I don't even know what I'm supposed to say aloud on YouTube, but she stood with her husband during the cheating scandal and all of these things. Solid people loved Hillary Clinton. And around 2015, there was these things that she was hiding information. Things went bad, and she was trying to, hide it with the emails, right? So everybody lost trust in her and confided against her. Like, dude, she's a white woman who's been in office for many years, and guess what? Trump beat her with his racist ass rhetoric that Mexicans are rapists and killers and all these things. They were just like, bro, you can't talk like that, bro. You can't say shit like that. You have to be well educated and respectful. You know what I mean? Let's say I have a feeling towards a race. You know what? I'm not supposed to just be outspoken and vocal about it. You know what I mean? A real leader stays quiet. A real leader knows when to take actions. And there's an art to be respectful, and there's an art to be and have proper literacy and be well spoken and be very minimal. And you got to be careful and very methodic with your words. You don't have to read it off a script. It doesn't have to be fabricated messages. It just has to be clear, concise. And if it needs to be vague, you could be vague, but don't speak in tongues or patronize or be condescending towards people like Kamala Harris was doing. She would flip-flop on every argument. No, you have to have a stance. You can't pander to the crowd and be like, we're not going to take away your rights. And then like 2 weeks ago, take away your guns. And 2 weeks ago, we got to ban assault rifles. What are you doing? So these type of things, that's not leaders. You take a stance. And the Democrats right now, their stance and what they're doing is extreme left. They forgot what Bernie Sanders had amazing poll when he beat Hillary Clinton back then, is that he was all about the middle class, all about the class and the downtrodden and the people that are forgotten. That's the type of spirit back in 2016 that Donald Trump reinvigorated with, Make America Great Again campaign, right? So the Democrats didn't learn from that. So let's go back. I know that's just one argument, but I'll carry it back why Trump sucked ass as a president. And maybe he'll do better, maybe not, but I'll go back to it. Even before 2007, right, when we voted for Barack Obama in 2008, Barack Obama was very good looking. He was very fit. He spoke very eloquently. He had amazing deep voice. This dude was fit for a fucking leader. He was young. He was vibrant. He inspired a lot of youthful people to go out and vote. And he won 8 years of presidency. He left Trump in great standing for the economy after the housing market crash in 2008 and way before that, right? From all of these wars that the Republicans were doing in the banks and, and essentially, Wall Street with the housing bubble. Anyway, Barack Obama was fucking solid, right? Good looking. He fit the part. So what I'm trying to say is, and that was a huge change in this racist America that we know that it is. First black president, right? So when you bring in a woman, she has to be young. She has to be attractive because Barack Obama was an attractive dude. You know what I'm saying? You have to bring somebody young with feeling spirit, a woman that's going to be eloquent, that, you crack these jokes. Guess what? She'll be like, bro, I grew up with 3-4 older brothers. This little locker room talk, this ain't shit on me. I'll pop you in your face type of shit. Like, she got to be witty and come and like be strong and lead. But they give us Hillary and then they give us Kamala Harris. Bro, we can't vouch for that. Mexico, they voted for two strong ass women from different political parties. And one of them got anointed to be the female president of Mexico. Mm-hmm. So why can't the United States understand that when it comes down to a minority? Let's say there's a Mexican American running for president. Guess what? That dude better look the part, be in shape, be well fucking schooled, well versed, be amazing debater. He's got to come out with this passion and this fire and be like, boom, 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 boom. Kamala doesn't want to debate nobody, right? Hillary Clinton, she lost the trust of everybody. Bro, you need a clean slate. You get what I'm saying? So that's just the thing for the minorities. You got to work 2-4 times just as strong if you want to lead this fucking country. Same thing with women. They're a minority in that aspect as well, because there hasn't been a woman president, and if there's gonna be, it's got like, dude. Of course, we're gonna be like, oh, she has to look the part, she has to be tall, elegant, she's got to be a badass, she has to fit all of those things, because we always put women in a big ass standard over men. A guy sleeps with 100 women, that dude's a pimp, that dude's a G, that dude got game. A woman does the same thing. Oh, she a hoe, she a slut, she whatever, she a porn star. So you have to have that type of standard. It's a double standard, whatever you call it. Tough shit. Suck it up. You got to fucking dominate, period. You know what I mean? So these women have to understand and lock it down. But they don't understand that type of shit, because look who they gave us with Kamala. Look who they gave us with Hillary Clinton. It might sound like an asshole, but you guys know that's a fact, and that's true. Anyway, now going back to Donald Trump, I don't like the dude. But I voted for the motherfucker, bro. Like, I'm being completely honest, right? I don't like him, and I'm a type, and all those things that I told you about the Democratic Party and what they're trying to pander to, and all of these things with changing curriculum and men being in women's sports and men walking in trans men or intersex men going into females' restroom. Nah, bro. All of that stuff, these perversions, that's not gonna slide. Hell no. In what fucking world? You get what I'm saying? So these Democrats have to do they gotta be better, bro. We're from California, right? Well, the majority of us have to be from California. So what I'm saying is this. Look at what's happening in Oakland. The Oakland Athletics left. The Oakland Raiders left, right? The Golden State Warriors went to San Francisco. You think, I'm not an Oakland Raider fan or anything. I'm a San Francisco fan, right? Giants, San Jose Sharks, all that type of shit. Bay Area cat. I don't want those teams that are iconic teams and that have amazing culture and a fan base with the Pirates and the Skeletons of the Raiders go over to Las Vegas. Dude, that's a big, huge blow from an economic standpoint, security, parking standpoint, the people that work the concession stands, all those job lost and gone to Vegas. So what the fuck are you doing, Oakland? All these quick smash and dash, breaking into Apple and stealing all those phones. Bro, we got to bring bro, what is going on in California? They got to lock it in. Same thing with Gavin Newsom. You get what I'm saying? So there is this, and you guys are catering to this far left. And it's just like, bro, what happened to the working class, bro? You guys are going way too extreme. They lost their polls, bro. Bernie Sanders just came out recently saying, like, dude, they voted for Trump because the Democrats failed to address these certain aspects. Bro, we did Joe Biden extremely wrong. You get what I'm saying? Listen, yes, he was horrible against the debate against Trump. I get it, right? Yeah, maybe he doesn't remember a lot of stuff. Maybe he does poop his pants and he wears diapers. But guess what? That same man helped us recover from COVID. That last year that Donald Trump didn't want to give the peaceful transfer of power, the dude that got impeached, the storm the Capitol, was causing civil wars with the Proud Boys and Antifa, right? The dude that downplayed COVID, that shit talks our fucking soldiers. That's who we have to fucking vote because he's the lesser of two evils. The guy where COVID happened, right? And Biden immediately said, guys, I'm going to bring the COVID vaccine. I'm going to give you 3-4 stimulus checks. The military is going to have food banks and donate in food to you guys. So go to your elementary schools and make a line and get some food. This dude had a emergency recovery plan. You get what I'm saying? That's great leadership as an old man in Joe Biden. Who gives a fuck if he can't speak? There's an amazing president. I believe it was Teddy Roosevelt. This dude was crippled. I think he was blind from one eye, and he would stand up basically on a fake stand. Am I correct, Speed, when I say that Teddy Roosevelt was basically, his body was decaying as well?
Yeah, I believe so. But there was two Roosevelts. Remember, there was two brothers. There was Teddy, and then there was oh goodness, but there was two brothers, and both of them became president.
Right. So I'm gonna keep saying, right? So yeah, but I believe it was Teddy Roosevelt, though, right? So his body was decaying and stuff like that. It don't matter, bro. Debating is a young man's game. So Joe Biden could have been like, look, guys, I know I am a little old, but this old man recovered the fucking nation under Donald Trump's incompetence and the way he downplayed COVID. Now, maybe if I ask you guys, if I ask the Mexican boxing, the Mexican G, you, Speed, Dream, whoever's in here, if I ask you guys, yo, can you guys describe what COVID is to me? You guys are probably going to say, you know what, bro? It's like flu-like symptoms. right? That's what you guys would say. You guys might, if it's an extreme situation, I would recommend you to quarantine, detox yourself. You're possibly going to maybe lose smell and taste for a week, couple days, at worst, maybe a month, right? So if you're telling that to Donald Trump for the first time, this is a counter argument for Trump, right? Trump can be like, well, it's COVID, it's flu-like symptoms. Is a flu-like symptom for me a pandemic worthy of me shutting down the whole country? I don't think so. So if I tell you guys now, guys, what is COVID? Is it flu-like symptoms or is it something much more extreme? Right? Because never in my 30 years of existence would I've ever experienced a pandemic like that. So maybe Trump was like, well, dude, I didn't fucking know the country was going to shut down over flu-like symptoms. There's flus we have the flu shots every 6 months or so, when the weather changes, just go get that. But this was an extreme situation. And Trump didn't know. He downplayed it. I can show you guys the articles like I've always done in the past, right? And here comes Biden, saves the fucking day, and we push this dude out because he's old? So what if he's fucking old? My parents are old too. And the information that they lost, it's the information that I'm barely learning. You know what I mean? My parents can lose so much information and it will still be more information that I possibly know in my 30 years of existence because they're twice or triple my age. Salute to them. I still ask them questions. I still ask them advice. How to cook mole, pozole, little herbs and stuff, remedios when I get sick and stuff like that. The information that they are losing is much more than I can possibly retain. And I feel like I'm a pretty smart fucking dude. Anyway, so what Biden knows in his office, we pushed him out for Kamala Harris? Shame on you guys. Listen, I know I'm venting, but so Joe Biden's a little older. He can't debate like 20, 30-year-olds and shit. Can't get hard on like a 22-year-old. I get it. So what? Neither do a lot of those people that are getting into their retirement and they're waiting for their Social Security and their 401ks. Cater to them and be like, hey guys, yeah, man, I'm getting old. But guess what? This is part of the cycle of life. And I can still lead you guys. If you guys want somebody in the forefront just to speak for me, we can do that. I can hire a public speech. You know what I mean? I can hire an actor to read my things, but I can do these things. But what you can't do is just push him off to the side with no preliminary fucking votes and just put in Kamala Harris and completely bypass or enforce down our throats the 25th Amendment and just be like, yeah, Biden, he's too old. He sucks. Defend the man. The dude that fought against COVID, that made a vaccine. Look, I didn't take the COVID vaccine. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is he still opened back the country. And let's talk about inflation. All right, cool. Well, dude, this guy gave us stimulus checks. Where do you think that money came from? Yeah, things are going to be overpriced for a bit because the incompetence of Donald Trump shutting down the fucking world. What the fuck? Did we fucking forget about that? Why wasn't that a talking point from the Democrats? That's right. Kamala Harris doesn't know how to debate. She doesn't know how to be argumentative. She avoids confrontation. Guess what the world leaders are going to do now that it's a woman in power? You better toughen up, chick. Nah, bro, I don't have to be scared and be like, oh man, and hide you that I voted for Trump. That's not smart, bro. It's not smart what the Democrats are doing. I don't cower behind it. I can give you reasons why I voted for that fucking orange man, the Fanta man. You know what I mean? Because whether I don't agree with all his policies and all the bullshit that he stands for, I don't. Guess what? He did the process properly. You vote for the person, right? You don't just force them down our throats. He had to beat all the Republican primaries. You get what I'm saying? So the process of democracy, the process of voted, he was voted on. You get what I'm saying? He's actually doing it properly. The Democrats completely disregarded democracy and just threw us Kamala Harris and be like, guys, shut up. That's going to be our nominee. Nah, bro. Put Gavin Newsom, put Robert Kennedy Jr., put all of these people so we can nominate them. Yeah, bro, I'm hella mad, bro, because I'm a Democrat, bro. So when I go home and top of shit, my mom is crying for things like that. I'm like, Mom, you got to understand what we stood for. We stood for proper democracy, whether or not you might be a little fearful of the fucking orange man. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro, it was just a little frustrating with the I don't blame the Republicans. I don't blame Donald Trump. I blame the Democrats for putting in Kamala, man. I blame them. You know what I'm saying? Like, Anyway, bro, I was extremely frustrated with that shit. But yeah, that's the real deal Holyfield when it comes down to that. It was ridiculous. And they better lock it in, bro, because they better start preparing the next 4 years. It's gonna be tough, and the Democrats better not lose, the proper representation of what got them there. You know what I mean? We've always been kind-hearted. We've always been extremely smart, reasonable, not fucking far to the left. We've never been like that. We've been like, nah, man, we still believe in Catholicism and Christianity, you know what I mean? But we also believe in the minority and DACA and giving these people the opportunities, immigrants, to strive and prosper, but also the working class. And also goes with the white people, the white working class as well. You know what I mean? They're catering so bad, bro. And I can't believe that you let this dude who's fucking horrible, bro, Donald Trump, become the face of reason and hire guys like JD Vance. JD Vance is solid, bro. That dude was a Democrat. And we also lost Elon Musk. You know what I mean? From California, and the dude goes to Texas on a Republican state. What the fuck are the Democrats doing, bro? Bro, it's so frustrating, and it's all their fault that Cali, a beautiful state that I love, our fucking policies suck. It's ridiculous, bro. It's like they gotta change it up, man. The Mexican G goes, Alexandria Cortez is kind of fine. She's a politician out of Texas. I mean, New York. She's from New York, I think. What the fuck you voted from? Should have kept that to yourself. What the fuck, man? Biden voluntarily dropped out of the presidential race. Nah, bro. I think the deep state pushed him out, honestly. Nah, you're mad. Don't. Take a trip downtown LA and see how good of a job he's doing in California. Try not to step on a needle or human shit. Yeah, we got the same thing in Santa Cruz, bro. Gavin Newsom's got to lock it in, bro. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know what the fuck. Look, man. I don't really talk about too much of myself or like my background and stuff, but a lot of these things, bro, it's ridiculous, bro. What these politicians stand for with crime. I'm not, again, I don't want to get too crazy or more crazier and start going all into like mass incarcerations and jacking and all these things, but we so soft on crime, it's ridiculous. The homeless problem, bro, all of these things are so fucking easy to solve. It's just, I don't know what the Democrats are doing, bro. It's a fucking shame, man.
Yeah. Well, so look, if you this is the one thing. I don't know how old you guys are. Well, I know how old you are, and I know how old Dream is. I know how old the Mexican G is. I'm not too sure how old Mexican number one is, nor do I know how old Jose Chavez is, right? But I am old enough to know, and I have been very politically astute, guys. I'm not trying to overhype my my creativity, nor am I trying to you know exaggerate my knowledge of politics. I have been very knowledgeable and involved in politics before, right? But when I tell you that at the end of the day, after being involved in politics and following politics, reading about it, and knowing these guys' careers, and following from the background to the get, what you come to realize is at the end of the day, politics has become the modern football. It is basically the San Francisco 49ers going against the Dallas Cowboys. It is red versus blue, but they all play for the same organization. They all play for the NFL. Now, in politics, they're not called the NFL. They're called the overlords, the technocrats. They're called the elites. They're people who go nameless, who everybody assumes, but they don't mention them because everything goes back to them. Even your job goes back to them, right? So these guys all know each other. They just play a role. George W. Bush, the elder, the 70 something year old man before he died, and even George W. Bush, his son, are very close friends. with Obama, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton. They're best friends. They're always together. They go play golf together. They go hunting together. Why is that? Why would what you would seem, what you would perceive to be bitter enemies, why would they be so chummy with each other? It's not because they have a bond, because they once, you know, led one of the greatest countries in the world. No, it's not because of that. It's because they know at the end of the day, they were never against each other. All they were doing is playing two sides of the same coin, giving you the impression that you have a vote, that you have decisions to make, when in reality, the decision that you make does not count at the end of the day. Because the elites, the technocrats, the powers that be will manipulate these guys to do whatever they want. They want to start a war with whoever they want. These political leaders will do what they say. If they want to crash the economy, they will pass laws and take steps to make sure that that is exactly what they will do. So when you vote, you have this perception that you're really effectuating change. When in reality, you're voting for, to, put it more succinctly, voting for the lesser of two evils. It really is that. But in reality, every time, especially modern days, every time that we've voted for the lesser of two evils, we're hoping that that lesser of the two evils does not turn out to be the Antichrist. Right? It's been like that for the longest of days. George W. Bush, along with Israel, along with Saudi Arabia, along with Halliburton, along with Blackwater, they destroyed two towers in downtown New York, and they left so much evidence for you to follow and look at, to prove that it's an insider job and that they will do it when they want to, and they will get away with it, only to prove to you that your vote and your opinion is futile. And if 9/11 and the Tongan incident and all the other wars that we've started and false pretexts have not led you to believe and conclude that at the end of the day your vote is a sham, that no matter who you vote for, it is all evil, not the lesser of the two, not the greater of the two, that you're actually voting for scum, then I don't know what to tell you. I walked away from the sport and I focused on one thing that's never betrayed me: the excitement of organized violence. Win or lose, I know people go in that ring to give it the, their all, sometimes their life, for my entertainment. We know it's corrupt, but at the end of the day, we get a smile out of it. The difference with boxing and the politics, although they are both corrupt, at the end of the day, following politics enough, you don't come out with a smile. Unlike boxing, right? This morning is what I call the morning after. And if you know what a morning after is, it mostly applies to women, right? The morning after. You
After
go
what?
to the
Food,
club,
a nice sleigh. What are we talking about?
you go to the club, you have your fun with your girlfriends. This applies for the guys too, right? This actually, let's put it in the case of a man. You hang out with your buds. You go to a club. You have yourself a couple of drinks. A girl that's a 5 or a 4 looks like a 9 or a 10 after enough beverages. You have a good little time. You go to a more private area. You consummate the fervor, the passion that's been building up because of the interactions with this individual, the good times. You consummate that. in a physical act. You get sweaty, you kiss, you have sex, whatever you want to do, right? And then you fall into slumber. You wake up a few hours, you turn over, and there's a fresh face before you with no makeup, completely nude. Now you're waking up, you're feeling hungover, feeling like crap. You look at the girl beside you and she looks like crap. And then you have to put on your undies and you walk out that door with the walk of shame. You disgusting individual just lowered your standards in order to have a good time, and you walk out there with your rumpled clothing, your pants hanging
Yo,
partly
bro,
down
what
your
the hell are you
ass,
talking about, man?
and you are feeling embarrassed. The morning after the presidential election is the same thing as having sex with a four. You walk out that doorway and you want to get the hell out there because you're not feeling good about it. This is the way that America should feel. We voted for the lesser of two evils, and both of them were equally repulsive, inexperienced, inadequate to lead our country the right way. And even if they do prove me wrong, you're not going to feel happy. You're not going to feel happy at all. I don't.
Yeah, no, man.
That's wild.
I do feel happy because.
Was wild.
Oh
You?
yeah, go Drew, go Drew, bro. What you feel wild about, man?
Oh no, I just yeah, I just feel like it's a lot to talk about, but I don't know. It's just you can't. Um, I feel like my vote was counted for. I feel like my vote made an impact, but it's just there's so much like work that we got to do, you know. Um, and I feel like we all kind of move in unison. Like we all we don't we just I don't know how to explain it. Like there's certain laws that can be passed. Like obviously this affected everything, but I just feel like um they like the cookie crumbles regardless. You know, like I just feel like it's gonna things are inevitable regardless of the president. And when I say things are inevitable, I mean the shitty economy and how it's collapsing, and it's just you can't control people's pockets, you know. So people are gonna do what they gotta do to save their money, and and you can't get people to do everything to your control. You know, I don't know. It's just I feel like Trump is alleviating a lot of things, and you know, as far as like all the immigrants and stuff like that coming in and out, which I don't want to get into too much, because I'm fucking tired. But you know, Trump is gonna make a lot of people rich, bro. You know, and that includes Mexicans and Latinos. You know, who said we can't send them money? You know, tired of the freeloaders. No, I'm just kidding. But nah, you know,
No, it's all right to say it, man. It's all right to say it. You're tired of the freeloaders because you've never freeloaded before, right? And this is the thing, guys, right? We want to live in a utopian society, but we're literally living in something more dystopian than not, right? Now, it's so bad, guys. It's so bad. I'm from California, right? And we had to vote on these proposals to change the laws. One of them was whether or not the state prison military, no, the prison industrial complex, because now it is an industry. It is no longer a state sponsored enterprise. The prison system is a for profit venture, right? We had to vote on whether or not we will continue to allow these companies to force labor, what they call an indefinite servitude, which means slavery, in other words, for these prisoners. In other words, if you're in prison, the prison system is gonna force you to work, whether making license plates or becoming an electrician or going to school or whatever. They want you to do something else besides just lay in your bunk and watch TV all day,
Did
right?
they pass that one?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
No,
don't think they
but
did. I think they said no, but I wanted them to pass that one.
Yeah, look
okay.
that up.
Well, to pass it meant that you wanted to revoke it. See, this is the
I hate
what
when
is
they
the
do language like that.
yeah, okay, yeah, it's
Yeah,
double speak. The book 1984 talked about double speak. They
like a
say
double
one
negative.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah, it says one thing over another. Like for example, let's give an example. It would be something similar to the Right to Life Act, which is basically something like, okay, we're gonna allow people to kill other people in the purge because those people that they're gonna kill may likely kill somebody. So you're voting for the right for life, the right to live by killing other people because the people that you're gonna kill may likely in the future kill somebody. So if
No,
you kill those
that's
people, you're robbing them of the opportunity to kill somebody. So that's double speak, right?
no,
That's
that's
double
not what
speak.
that meant though. Like you went you did a negative negative negative. You know what I mean? Like you did a triple negative. That's not what it is.
Yeah, well, that's what a double speak is. Well, okay, maybe I went too far, but what
You
I'm
went
saying
one too
is,
much. But
yeah.
no,
So again, so what I'm trying to say is this: when you voted yes, you were actually saying no, and when you were saying no, you were actually saying yes. So if you wanted the prisoners to continue to work in prison, then you would have to have voted no, because no meant the act was, of course, do you want to repeal the forced labor of prisoners? So if you said yeah, that means yes, I want to repeal, which means I want to get rid of that law that forces them to, so forth and so on, right? So you start thinking yourself, and you're like, well, yeah, right. I mean, if these prisoners have to pay back their the faults that they've caused to to society at large, whether they've taken a life or stolen some property or whatever, they should pay back society for their crimes. So allow them to work, right? Force them to work a
absolutely.
little.
That's part
Okay, but
of
it's not only work though, guys. I'm just trying to
the
say, yeah, I'm just trying to say it's
members
not
of
only work.
society. Hey, bro, humble yourself. You're not just gonna get a free ride, free dental, free psych wards, free medication, free 3-4 course meals in a hot shower. Put your ass to work. Go clean up these streets. Go pick up the trash. Go plant some. Go do some stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And that's why put their ass to work. You did the crime. Show us that you want to be a productive member of society and not just petty theft, dumb motherfucker. And put your ass to work. You ain't gonna get.
yeah.
You're getting that food and a free bunk on your head.
Yeah, but again, but I don't want it to seem like it's just indentured servitude, because at the end of the day, it's not like they're making him work in the fields. It's actually they're making him do something. Yeah, they're making him go to school or learn a trade, because some of these places actually teach you stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's what
they
we have
just
to
want
do here in commissary and give them
they
their
just don't they
that.
just don't want you to be on your ass all day in your bunk just plotting on who you're gonna kill, right? So you think, okay, that's good. That's good. But then you remember that the prison system is no longer ran by the state, right? It is an industry. If you, the homie Ricky, if you dream 1, 2, 3, you want to open up a business of the prisoner system, you can actually just invest money in making a new prison. You say, you know what, I'm just gonna buy.
Complex. I get it. But when did that become a thing? Like in the 80s or what?
No, I think it was in the late '90s, right?
Okay.
So you can actually start your own prison. Now, what happens, guys?
Bro.
What happens when you're invested in the property? Well, in a business, now you make money. Now you tap into the politicians. You say, "Hey, I gave you some money. I sponsor you, but I may just need a favor," right? So these guys that run prisons, they donate money to certain candidates. Those certain candidates get reelected. They remember that they owed that person a favor, and they say, you know what, those guys from the prison system, they were good. Let me help pass these laws that they are actually sending money to in order for that law to pass. And guess what, these companies, these profiteers, They give money to the politicians to write out laws that they make us vote on, where they profit. So in other words, the prison industrial complex is now helping pass laws that make incarceration even easier in order for them to make money, which makes them more money, which then they invest in the politicians, when then they invest more into more laws, and it's just a negative feedback. You see what I'm trying to say? So once you think you're doing something right and saying, yeah, I don't want these prisoners to be there in prisons watching TV, I want them to work, you also have to consider the fact that these people are passing the laws themselves so they could benefit. So then you're like, man, I'm just screwed, ain't I? No matter what I do, I'm screwed. And that is politics.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting point, but yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. You know, I will say this. I find that very conflicting. I read this book. It was called by Michelle Alexander. It was called Color Blindness, the Mass Incarceration of some shit, right? And it was talking about Oakland PD and how they were basically locking up certain people and stealing their cars. And they kept them during this process called civil rights forfeiture. Basically, if you were a drug dealer and they caught drugs on you, they can take your chain, your watch, and they'd be like, hey, dude, either that or you're going to get your fucking ass locked up. Or they will still lock you up and still take that brand new Escalade, and they were able to keep it. I get it. I get it. There's a lot of those things that do happen. I'm not saying trust the cops during like the 60s and the 80s and the 90s and that shit, But now with these whole things of them changing, get tough on crime and stuff like that. Now it's more like, oh, mass incarceration. It's gonna lead to mass incarceries and all of these things. Look, bro. Okay. We're gonna go through. Are we gonna go? Are we gonna talk through this pipeline?
No,
Are we
you know
gonna
what? I
give a
think
spiel? 'Cause I
no,
got
no, no, no. It's because look, it's 11. I'm just gonna say this, right? I am very happy to run into somebody like Jose Chavez, who's actually making some very good points, right? Here's one that
he can't said Kamala was a MILF, bro. What you mean?
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah, I know. That maybe 10 years ago, Chavez, but not anymore. But he says something, and I've been thinking about this, right? He said, Trump will fail. He will get fired. Wait and see. Now, I don't think he will get fired, but as far as failing, right, we have to think about one thing, guys, right? Under the supposition that Democrats and Republicans, right, are working for the same people, and that the reason why Donald J. Trump was attempted at his life on two occasions, right, which allows you to believe that maybe Donald J. Trump is not with that game. He's not an actual red or blue. He's actually an independent that took over a party because of his popularity. He usurped the Republican base, right? But he's never been an insider for reds or blues, right? Under that impression that he is an outsider, and that's the reason why they took him out, they tried to take him out, then we have to just say the following. The reason why Donald J. Trump was secure to win, I'm telling you guys, I knew Donald J. Trump was going to win months ago after Joe Biden. Even back then, this was almost 6 months ago, because the news media was lying to us all the time. They were completely blatant in their lies about Joe Biden's cognitive abilities, about how he was a genius, about how he never pooped his pants, how he never was walking away from the debates, or just being easily distracted, about how he was not falling off of airplanes and stairs and tripping over bikes. They kept trying to hide that, right? Even though there was so much evidence to prove that they were lying to you, they didn't care, because the objective was to make sure that they lost your trust. You see, if you follow MSNBC, CBS, Fox News, or whatever, nobody watches mainstream media anymore, because they are so unpopular, because it is apparent that they've been lying to you forever, to the point that nobody even watches him anymore. They get maybe 100,000 people watching any hour of their channels all over the world. Imagine that, 100,000 people at any given hour. How many people do you get on the random video, homie? 1,000? These guys are barely getting 100,000 over you. These are entrenched businesses that their job
I
is to
never
report.
that, bro.
Yeah,
And
yeah, whatever. Besides the point, what I'm trying to tell you is this: the reason why they put up Kamala, knowing that she was going to lose, the reason why they put up Joe Biden, knowing that he couldn't run the country, knowing that he was going to continue to decline mentally in front of us, the reason they did that is because they wanted to make sure that the Democrats lost, that they would have very bad. A very bad candidate for presidency, that it was going to be a complete failure, that the Democrats were not going to have any opportunity to lead the country because they wanted Donald J. Trump to become the president. Now, you're probably asking, why would they want that? Why
yo,
would they want that?
I
And
don't
you
know.
have to ask yourself,
I
well,
don't
think about it.
yeah.
Why do they want somebody in particular who is an outsider to their entrenched into their entrenched participatory sports? Why do they want an outsider to lose, to fail? They wanted to win because they know something bad is going to happen to the country.
Well, listen,
Something dire is going to happen to the country.
it possibly could because there's when people okay, Robert F. Kennedy, he ran as an independent. We know if you run as an independent, you're not going to win in this country. You need to
Yeah.
play the game. You need to get along to play along type of shit. Robert F. Kennedy needed the backing. Look, this is America, Jack, right? It's a two-party system, red and blue. Yo, man, I gotta lock it up on my end. You guys can hold it down, bro. Give me a sec, bro. I gotta clean up. Fuck. Yo, Speed, you gotta hold it down, man. I gotta like wrap it up here at work. No more reports and debriefings on my end, bro. It's time to go home.
Yeah, well,
Yo,
I'm just gonna take up another 5 minutes just
actually,
to
I was wrong. I thought that was my relief. Guess not. It wasn't. Shit. What was I talking about? Oh, it's a two-party system, right? You either got to get the backing of the Democratic Party or the Republican Party, or else you're not going to win. Okay. Donald Trump knew that. So what Donald Trump really is, right? Like you said, he is an independent, but he knows that you have to play the game. And what happened here is this, and it's very interesting, and something dire, something might happen. This dude understands that people like George Soros, I don't even know I'm supposed to name drop these people, and the Rothschilds that control the central banking system, the ones that are printing all the money and all of these things, that we call them the deep state. You know, the people call them the Illuminati. All of these people, right? Some other people call them the 5%ers, the 1%ers, the elitists. I'm gonna stop with these code words because shit, it puts me on edge. But these people have been running the country for a really long time under the shadows. They rarely do interviews. You will rarely see them. Guys like The Simpsons, and they start giving you these hints and these tips and how they look like and what kind of business that they're into, right? The Simpsons. So again, if they're making like if there's codes and they speaking in tongues, you guys just have to look up these names. But anyway, Donald Trump knows this. And he knows that the United States of America has been selling its booty to essentially the highest bidder. And they're going against, there's no pride in orgullo to be an American. If I tell you guys what makes you guys feel proud to be an American, what does it mean to be an American, you guys aren't really going to give me the same definitions. Right? Because we don't really stand for anything. Everybody here in America is looking out only for themselves. Okay? The thieves are looking out only for their bottom line. The business owners only about them, their end, right? The thief doesn't think about, oh man, if I jack this mom and pop shop who they've been giving me fucking, milk and eggs for like the last 20 years. If I keep jacking them, guess what? They're going to go out of business. And then, Turkey Ali Sheik is going to come in. And next, they're going to clean it up. And I fucked up that local mom and pop shop in my neighbor's home, right? They don't think about it like that. The business is like, man, I'm just trying to make my bottom, man. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to, have a great business model. Nobody really looks out for everybody, right? When's the last time that you had a meaningful conversation with your neighbor? You know what I mean? Do they still invite you over to the cookout? You know what I mean? Or are they taking up your parking spot in your front of the home and you guys are like, dude, what the fuck? The street doesn't pertain to me, but you're parking all these cars in front of my home type of shit. There's always these arguments, right? So there's no pride. No one's really looking out for themselves, right? You see a trash on the street, you're not gonna go pick it up. You're gonna be like, shit, ain't my problem. But you guys live in the same earth. So these Americans have this only, this pessimistic, cynical style of living, right? So anyway, so the deep state, the people that Trump is trying to bring back this honor and these jobs back to the United States of America, it's very difficult to compete with child labor in China, where all of these phones and Nike products and Nike shoes come from, right? You want those Nike Cortez? Guess what? It costs us maybe $5 or $10 to get that stuff made in China, right? But if that was an American job and that was an American factory over here, you're gonna have to pay this worker 20, $30 an hour. Those shoes aren't gonna cost you 150. They're gonna be 350. Are you willing to pay that fucking cost? Right? Just because it's American workers and American work and these factories are here? No, it's not. That's how Walmart flourishes. You want that tumbler right there for $7? Look where it's at, from Taiwan or China. You think Walmart is gonna want to bring those markets over here? Nike and all of these plants, they can't. But Trump wants those jobs back, right? Make Detroit strong again with the automobile business, right? All of these things. When you start doing that stuff and be very self-reliant, you start making these businesses and tariffs and you start taxing these other countries, that's a revolution that on theory and on paper, you're like, man, dude, he's bringing these jobs back, but it's going to fucking crash the market. And a lot of people are going to be like, nah, bro, you're going to bring a different type of monetary gain, right? But it's not going to meet the bottom line and profits for these companies. And everyone's not going to, like, a lot of people, look, let me just hold on. When inflation happens and people vote for, the minimum wage to go up, what happens? The dollar is not worth the same. It's worth pennies on the dollar, right? This ain't nothing new. $20 10 years ago will fill up your gas. Now you need 50, 80 to 100, sometimes 200, depending the size of your vehicle, right? For $20 back in 2006, you can fill up a shopping cart. Now $20 is basically $5. You can't buy nothing at Costco for $5. Our $20 bill probably gets you one or two things. The $100 bill barely gets you 5 or 6 items. So inflation and minimum wage and all of these things, they raise the minimum wage to $20 an hour. You know what's going to happen to your boss? He's going to cut 2-3 people from that job just to give you that person's wage and currency. All right, bro, this is my calling point, bro. I actually got to go now. But yeah, you can hold it down, man. A lot of these things and the cost of living, it doesn't just double. It's like quadruple. But yeah, Speed, you got to hold it down.
Yeah, bro. I'll just wrap it up here, saying a few things, guys. Okay. Okay, well, first off, Mexican G, I know times are tough, bro, but please don't porch pirate from anybody, man. It really feels bad to be violated, right? I will tell you, I had this Impala when I was much younger. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago now. No, younger than that, actually. I had an Impala that I was working on. I had it primed down. I still hadn't decided on what color I was gonna go with. It was gonna go with blue, or I think it was black. I think it was gonna go with the black body, brown top. I think it was gonna do a custom leather top. The vehicle was gonna be called the Shotgun. I had this drawing that I had with Zapata and Cesar Chavez and some Aztecs and some Aztec princesses, and that I was gonna airbrush, or my brother really was gonna airbrush, and the deck lid of this Impala, and the door handles, instead of being the typical chrome ones, I was gonna buy some antique shotguns, and I was gonna retrofit him, cut him, and retrofit him so that when you pulled the trigger in the shotgun, you were basically opening up the car, right? You'd have the butt of the shotgun sticking out. You'd pull the trigger, and then that's what the actual the door handle would be, and it would open up the car. And I had this whole thing, imagined. Now, life kicked in, right? and I became a bit more distracted. I stopped working on it for a couple of months. And my mother tells me, because I was still living with my mother, I think I was 20 then. I was living with my mother, and she tells me once I arrived from work that some guy with a big, long ponytail knocked on the door and he said if we were selling that car. And I was like, selling that car? Like, what gives an impression to this individual that I'm selling a car? Right? She goes, he said that he'd been passing by and he'd seen it there for a couple of months without moving. I'm like, yeah, but who sells their Impala? Like, I could never imagine selling an Impala, right? I mean, I would have every single Impala in the world if I could, right? This was when I was younger. That's the way that I was thinking. Um, so, I was asking, what did this guy look like? Like, oh, blah, 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 whoop de woo. Okay. Trying to think, do I know this guy? Who else would come knocking at another person's door on a vehicle that does not have a for sale sign? Right? It just found it to be quite suspicious. Right? So, didn't think of it. I looked around my car. The vehicle was completely intact. So, what's there to worry about? Head on out to work, and everything looks kosher. Everything looks fine. I'm arriving back. Must have been around 3:30. I arrived back home and my car's still there. It looks real good. It looks real clean. Except it looks a little too clean. And I was like, why does my car look different? And I kept looking. And it just looked bigger. And then I looked a little closer when I was pulling up to park. And lo and behold, I noticed somebody stole the grill from my car. They stole the damn grill. So at some time during the day, maybe very early in the morning after I left, used to start at 6 in the morning. So maybe I headed out like around 5:30 or so, to get my commute and arrive on time to my place of employment. Somewhere there, somebody was scoping me out. Probably knew my laborial patterns, knew when I left, knew when I come back. They went in there, probably got their tools or whatever. They didn't take anything else besides the grill. I'm not talking about headlamps. I'm not talking about the bumper. Nothing else besides the grill. They took the grill. So maybe just a few screws, right? And man, I felt so violated. I felt nervous, almost like a panic attack, almost like afraid. I felt such fury. Like I didn't know what I was gonna do. Am I gonna kill this guy? Am I gonna hunt him down? Who is this guy? Am I gonna start interrogating my mom to give me a description of what his face looked like so that I can start sketching out a forensic image of this guy in order to like track him? Am I gonna? I don't know what was going on through my mind, right? But I felt violated, like somebody could come to my home and touch me. They could come over here to my domain and feel that they could trespass and I couldn't do anything about it. I felt very vulnerable. And to tell you the honest truth, scary. Because I didn't know if this guy was doing it on purpose to instigate something or it's a major FU, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what you do when you steal from a person. You go to their property, you take it, and you say, I don't care about the consequences. F you. I'm not afraid of you. I could do whatever I want. I know who you are. You don't know who I am. They had the upper hand, right? I ended up recovering the grill. Back then those type of grills were still very available, so I found one. But I never forgot what it felt like to have my property taken from me like a thief in the night. Like how they say Jesus will arrive, right? Like how they say God will arrive, I mean. And from there, I said, I will never steal and I will never consent to my children being thieves. Now, I don't begrudge people that have been in dire circumstances that they have to steal. I know sometimes people do have to, right? And I know a lot of the time we do so of youthful exuberance and experimentation or the peer pressure of our friends. I get that, but remember when I told you that every time I think about you, I hope that your circumstances get better because I don't want you to do that to others, and I don't want you to have that happen to you either, right? I just wanted to say, if you could look, cross your fingers before you start your day, do the sign of the cross, persínate, and say, please, Virgencita, please, Jesus, please, God Almighty, help me. Help me today. Give me the energy to change my circumstances. And hopefully they hear you, or hopefully they don't hear you, but just of your own willingness to get out of your circumstances, that you find a better way out. But I just wanted to throw that out there, right? Because, man, I cannot get over that fact that that guy came to my house and he stole that thing. Like, I'm like, when did you steal it, bro? Like, man, and if I catch you, if I catch you, what am I gonna like? What am I gonna do? I don't know who you look, who you are. If I touch you, I do something to you. Who's your fam, right? That's how it is in Salinas. Like, you have to know what you're gonna do because you don't know who these people are, right? The little towns, every single little town is like that, right? But anyways, I just want to let you know. David V says, whoever voted for Kamala are CUNTS. Well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, David, right? Because you obviously are didn't vote for Kamala. That does not necessarily mean you voted for Trump. Let me ask you, did you vote for Trump? I'll give you a few seconds to type it in. Just let me know. Come on, David. It doesn't take a long time to just tell me who you voted for, brother. Okay, here he goes. Let's see. He says, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So who did he? Oh, you absolutely voted for Trump then. Okay. Then let me ask you something. Something else, right? Because some of my cohorts, they also voted for, they voted for Trump. Let me ask you something, if you don't mind. Why not Kamala? What was wrong with Kamala? I just want to know if you're an astute, knowledgeable, a politically informed individual, or if you're just one of those people that says, "Oh well, you know, bandwagon, hype train, everybody's voting for Trump is the popular thing to do. Let me just do what everybody else says." Because I mean, you can't really say anything about Kamala, right? What can you say about her, David? Kamala never done nothing politically in her life, right? She didn't do anything as a vice president. In fact, she was the czar of immigration. She allowed all of the illegal immigrants, Venezuelans, and all of these other people. Apparently, according to Mr. Cortez or Lopez, I think Lopez, he says that there's infiltration in the police departments and here in the United States of the cartels. She did not do her job, so we can't say that she's a good leader when it comes to running an organization like ICE or something. So what did she do that you can say, well, she didn't do this right? Besides that, she has zero policy. Yep, no plan. Hasn't done anything the last 3 years, even as a district attorney. Well, I think I disagree with you because if I'm not mistaken, as a district attorney, she was very harsh on people, especially people for petty crimes like the use of marijuana. If I'm not mistaken, she incarcerated a lot of black people as a district attorney for smoking weed and selling weed. So she was very strict. In fact, there's been reports that Kamala Harris enacted or was such a very harsh, unjust district attorney when she was running the districts of San Francisco that just seemed to somehow affect black folk. And one of the gripes that black and African Americans have against Kamala, especially in California, is that she did not represent them, but yet she ran as a partially black presidential candidate. When in fact, I don't think she is black. I think she is more Indian. I think Kamala is a word uh, in English. I mean, in Indian, and I forget what it means. But I know that her name is Devi, N- Kamala Devi, and I think Devi is shorthand, for some people for devil, right? So I think she, as a district attorney, she was very tough, but on the people that now she was hoping to pander to get the votes from. So yeah, I think she was very tough as a district attorney. I actually disagree with you. I think she did a lot. I just don't think that what she did was good. David goes, son. I mean the harsher crimes, not petty crimes. I thought she was Indian. Yeah, she's Indian. Um, but you can't really say she's a bad candidate for something that she's done wrong. You just mostly can interpret her as a clean slate, right? Because as a leader running running as a vice president, I don't remember she did anything at all. I mean, even let me see. I mean, even Hillary Clinton as a vice president, right? She did stuff. I mean, Miss Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, she actually passed this healthier proposal, right? She wanted people to be healthier and she did all these kinds of stuff. She actually fought to provide healthier meals to the schools of America. Kamala, I don't remember what she done at all, right? So I guess what I'm saying is this. I think that a lot of people voted for Trump, not because he's such a great candidate. Because I'm going to ask you now, why did you vote for Trump? Is it a vote against Kamala and the Democratic establishment, or were you voting in favor of Trump and his, his politics and his plan to, you know, move the country forward? The food is processed. How is that healthy? No, no, no. So, Miss Miss Obama's plan was to provide school foods that are not processed. In fact, I don't think a lot of the school foods are processed at the moment. Yeah, there are much healthier options than the kind of stuff that we grew up on, right? I think they give them lettuce and all kinds of stuff, but but yeah, she did at least some of those things, right? And in the case of Kamala Harris, she is a clean slate because she's never done nothing, so we can't really use much against her, right? It's what I'm trying to get at. Or you can use that against her because you're saying, well, how are you even prepared to run the country if you've never done squat in your life, right? I guess you can look at it that way. But we had that food too. I've seen the food. The Mexican, she says Trump is a scumbag piece of shh, but he's still a better choice than Kamala. And I think that's where we go back to that whole, lesser of two evils thing, right? Look, let's just get down to brass tacks, right? Trump was not a good president when he ran the country. He allowed COVID to get out of hand. He ended up closing the nation after it was widely dispersed and had propagated to a larger portion of the community, right? You couldn't halt it by closing the nation once he did it because it was too late. Too many people had been infected. You had to close it at the gate when people were telling you have to close. If he had closed it earlier on, like right at the middle of April, early May, it would have been right. But he ended up going on until June or something like that, allowing the propagation of this infection to go on for about 2.5 months. By then, all he did was close the state to businesses. A lot of them, the majority of them, in fact, small mom and pop shops who went under. He made a lot of people lose their livelihoods because of it. And to compensate for his shortcomings, the people that actually couldn't work, because a lot of people could work, guys. Remember, the police, all of law enforcement, all of the hospitals, supermarkets, all of those people could work. They were called what? Um, what was that term that they used? Like necessary jobs, or crucial jobs, or whatever, right? uh you had fire, police, you had education. They were working remotely. You had the field workers, you had the construction workers, because they were out in the air, so they could actually work. The only people that couldn't work were basically the mom and pops, the little shops, the merchants, like the malls and all those stores, right? So those people, when they closed the state, they lost revenue. So what did Trump do to compensate for that? He gave out free money. But his mistake was he gave out free money to everybody. I was working throughout the whole pandemic, and they gave me free money. I think we ended up getting like $15,000. I didn't need it. The people that were working at 21 Forever 21 or whatever, those guys that lost their jobs, he should have given them $15,000, because he closed their business down, because he took away their jobs. But when he wanted to play fair and square, and he gave out money just willy nilly to everybody, even the people that were not affected, he gave out billions, if not trillions of dollars, adding on to the national debt, adding on to inflation by incredible numbers. And we know that inflation does not work from one night to the next. It actually takes about 3 or 4 years before it catches on. Why are we noticing inflationary numbers, the ones that we have now? Because of Trump, because he gave out way more money during COVID closure than the Biden administration gave to Ukraine and to Israel combined, in order to for them to attack Russia and Palestine and Jordan and all of those countries. Right? See, that's a mistake. You know what other mistake he made? He gave out small business administration loans to any company that asked for them, without having the obligation to repay them back. No questions asked. You can just ask up to, I can't remember how many millions of dollars, depending on the size of your business, how many people you employed. You can ask for that money as a quote unquote loan that you never had to pay back. What do you think that means? If you don't have to pay it back, what do you think that money gets printed from? Bonds, loans, tax increases, asking the Fed, the Treasury to print out more money, which means your taxes go up, right? All of that compounds to inflation. So once you guys think you guys are suffering bad inflation because of Biden, that is only partially true, because he did give a kinds of money to foreign countries to kill each other off, and to pass those gains of weapon manufacturing and sales to the big military industrial complex. Hey, at least we're making America great again through jobs, right? Hey, we're producing weapons, giving it to Halliburton and Blackwater, BlackRock. Hey, American countries, right? American companies. Good for you. The Rio Infinite. This channel is dog poop, slap your face, laughing. That's all right, bro. You're good in our book. As long as you're happy, bro. As long as you're happy. Sending us emojis with bullshit on it, with little caricature faces or otherwise, that's okay, brother. You're just adding on to the views. And you're spending your time with us. We didn't ask you to come over here. So if this channel is dog shit, hey, the longer you stay here, I hope it rubs on your face. David Levy says, because of the aid to Ukraine and all these countries that are at war, remember, USA is part of NATO. They make up NATO. Without USA, NATO is not recognized. Yeah. NATO is basically the American establishment that allows us to start to corner countries like Russia and China, right? Which I disagree with. I'm a hippie. I don't like to instigate wars with other countries, especially countries that have weapons of mass destruction like we do. David V says money printed at accelerated rate increases inflation, and the high prices are passed to the USA population. Absolutely, absolutely, and we're suffering that now. But it does not become an overnight thing. It actually gets passed down through a couple of years, right? Like, for example, the 2008 market crash, that did not affect the prices of homes and all those bad loans immediately. It didn't start to crash in 2008. It started crashing 2010, 2011. That's when people started losing their homes. 2008 is when people started to realize, oh, this isn't feasible. These kind of non-credit background loans are really going to screw us up in the end. And then 3 or 4 years ago is when everything went down the drain. Exactly. Under Trump, he passed the kinds of things that just screwed over the state, and we're forgiving him for that. We're forgiving him for COVID. We're forgiving him for all these dollars that he gave to people that didn't deserve it. We forgive him for for allowing all these mom and pop shops to go broke. Right? We forgive him. And then to tell you the honest truth, I'm going to tell you the truth. I forgive him too because I think Anthony Fauci is scumbag, and they knew that Trump was an illiterate individual that probably has never read a book in his life, probably has no knowledge about science. You know, he thinks I don't think he knows how to pump his own gas, right? So they know that he's a rich boy who may love America, but he doesn't know how Americans live. So he has a lot of people that can counsel him and give him advice and what to say and what to do. He's a natural, by the way. He's a real natural speaker. So you just give him a little tips. You know what? These guys like toilet paper, guys. Oh, they wipe their butt with toilet paper. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Throw them a couple of rolls of toilet paper. Oh, it's because I'm used to wiping myself on thin sheets of gold foil. Yeah, but that's you, President Donald Trump. I mean, you're rich. They're not. Oh, I thought everybody was rich. The job numbers are distorted currently. Absolutely. And that's another reason why the Democrats lost, because they kept using big corporate media to lie to us. The job numbers are distorted. Absolutely. I haven't seen anybody advertise any jobs anywhere. My daughter, she's been looking for a job, right? And she can't find anything because nobody's announcing any job opportunities. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, that is NATO, recession has two consecutive bad quarters. Was two consecutive bad quarters. That is the definition of a recession. And I think depression is what, like 7 consecutive bad quarters, right? But a quarter, it just depends on what you call bad, right? Maybe just any kind of indication that no growth is taking place. Yeah, that would be, maybe a bad quarter. But as long as it's on par, right? Um, but I'm not too sure what's going on. I don't think they've called it a recession so far because again, I don't think any jobs have been created, but I don't think anybody has lost their jobs. I think it's just a stagnation where inflations are going up, but they're also trying to compensate by that by raising minimum wage jobs and all of those things. But it's just there's no development. There's no progress. There's no upwards. What is that? Vertical growth. Trump says Trump wanted the borders to close, but Congress and Senate didn't want to. Yep, absolutely, that's true. They blocked them at every single opportunity they had. Then the media labeled him as a racist and didn't want to work with him. Absolutely, they did. They labeled him as a racist. I don't think he was a racist. I just think he was out of touch. I don't think he ever seen a Mexican. I don't think he ever seen a Puerto Rican, right? And living in their element. So he doesn't know how to expect. So when we look at him throwing toilet paper and, saying that these illegals are coming in here raping our women and stuff like that, they think he's talking about every single one of them. He's just talking about how some of them are. And that is true, guys. It is true. It's not racist if it's true, just because you don't want to hear it. GDP, gross domestic product. Yeah. Yeah. Look, David V, right? Trump won. I smelled it months away. I could tell, even the Democrats, because I've been a lifelong Democrat, this party that's running these candidates, they don't represent the party that I knew to be democratic. I'm a hippie. Nothing about the way that they move, the way that they speak, the way that they want to start wars. Nothing indicates peace and love, right? I'm a fair shake kind of guy. When Nancy Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, and all of her Italian family members beat the market, you know they're entrenched in their insider trading, which is corruption. Corruption is the opposite of a fair shake. This is not the Democratic Party that used to, at least from out of their mouth, say that they were for peace and fairness, right? When the Democratic Party represented the gay movement, equal marriage, and otherwise, it was about peace and love. It was not about sex. It was not about gender. It was not about taking away the parental right to raise your child to be a boy or a girl. It was never about allowing 7 year olds to decide behind closed doors, talking to counselors, talking to teachers, what their gender is. It was never about that. This is not the Democratic Party that is running the show now. And at the end, I will remind you once again, the Republicans are the Dallas Cowboys. Uh, the Republicans are the 49ers, I mean. The Dallas Cowboys are the Democrats. But they all play for the same organization, the NFL. They all get paid by the same people and follow the same rules. And the Democrats and the Republicans follow the technocrats, the elites, the powers that be. There's no difference, right? But I do say this: Donald J. Trump had a couple of attempts at his life. That was enough for me to know he's not one of them, right? And people are tired of them. And they voted against them. They voted against big media. They voted against the elites when they chose Trump. Not because they think he's the greatest. Some people do. Some people love their leaders. Some people worship the guy. Man, I could never worship another man. I don't know why these people get so hyped up about people that take away their rights and tell them what to do and govern their country. I'm a sovereign individual. I love my peace. I love my freedom. Leave me the fuck alone. Right? But all you people sure love your government. All you people sure love your leaders. You worship them, in fact. So today, knowing that you've won, your candidate won, and come January the 6th or otherwise, when Donald J. Trump assumes the position as the leader of what used to be the greatest country in the world, I mean, now it's more of a dystopian society. When he goes up there and addresses the nation, hopefully you raise your arm and salute and say, we're making America great again, and hope that it is true. But I doubt it. I doubt it's going to be that easy, right? But God be on our side. Hopefully things do get for the better. The Mexican Jesus. So why does nobody talk about white rapists? Because it's not popular. Yeah. So okay, but the Mexican is because they're it's not about white because Mexicans are white too. Some of them, right? I think it's because they're not American race rapist, right? I mean, you can be a serial killer as long as you're an American. Hey, you were born here. You're a natural born American serial killer. But as long as you're not from this country, you don't have the same rights to rape or kill. The Mexican Jew says, why are we always the topic of discussion? Well, it's not always the Mexican G. It's just that, you know, it's always been like that. America has always, in college and universities, it's called hazing. You know, they have these fraternities, and if you want to be a member of this group, it's like a gang. They call it a fraternity. If you want to go in there, you have to be hazed, which is basically the elders of that fraternity. They bully you, they punk you, you become their little bitch. They do all kinds of stuff until you've taken enough of their crap, and they say, ah, you know what, you're all right, you're good, and then they let you be. This happened to the Italians, the Polish, the Germans, the Jews, the Mexicans, the Native Americans, the blacks, and then it was the Japanese in the 40s, the Chinese. Now it's most recently it's been the Salvadorians, the Hondurans, the Guatemalans, the more indigenous Mexican types, Venezuelans, Costa Ricans. They're all gonna be hazed. They're all gonna be the enemy du jour, the enemy of the day, until they prove themselves to us, true Americans, that they can keep their noses clean, contribute to our country. And I think that's fair. Keep your nose clean, contribute to the country. And then after 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of proving it, then you're all right in our book. I think that's why they do it. The Mexican chief says white people make up the highest amount of child predators. Yeah, exactly. But what can we do? They're American, right? Mexican boxer says probably. The homie Ricky says, we are always a topic of conversation because somos chingones. And that's true. That's true. That's true. The homie Ricky says, hardworking, good looking, and have amazing culture. We are not. Pussies. Yeah. David V says, Vanguard, BlackRock are the enemy of the people and the New World Order, including the media and the World Economic Forum. Yep. They want people to not own anything. Absolutely. So you've been reading those things, right? That used to be me, David V. I used to be into those kind of stuff, right? Um, Conspiracies, connecting the dots, the elites, so forth and so on. Extraterrestrials, even, right? So I found it to be very funny because I actually have an IG account. I have an Instagram account. And of course, some of the more popular things are there's feet pics, and then there's cooking channels, and then there's lowrider things, and then there's conspiracies, right? Those are like the fun five. The fun five. So one of the fun fives is the conspiracy guys, right? And they're like, oh man, do you know Pizzagate? Or did you know that Bill Clinton did this? Or look, Nicki Minaj from this angle of the camera, she turns into a lizard. Look at her eyeballs, right? So they're fun. They're always good for a kick, right? And they're always talking about how this is a corrupt system, how there's the elites and everybody, the Democrats, Republicans are one same gang. So lo and behold, I start, catching up with my conspiracy guys in the IG to find out what they're up to. And they're all praising Trump and they're asking us to vote for Trump. And I'm like, bro, what? What do you mean? I thought you were a conspiracy theorist, bro. If this is all a sham, why are you pushing for this guy? Right? So I made a post. Election night, the day that conspiracists forget to take the red pill. Only on election night are they no longer red pilled. Are they no longer aware? Only on election night do they get their emotions so high that they forget it's all a big conspiracy. I found that to be ironic, and I was just like, man, calling him out on that. Like, man, you're really pandering for this guy. Like, what makes you think he's not one of them? Right? I think he's not one of them, but I would never cap for a guy. I would never promote a guy. I want freedom. I'm almost tired of governance. I'm almost tired of having people tell us what to do. Like we can't live civilly and peacefully without them telling us what to do? Like we don't know right from wrong without them passing the law to tell us it's right from wrong, right? What are we, children, right? We're not mature and educated and smart enough that we don't know how to raise our children, that we don't know if our boy is a boy or a girl, right? Tired of it, right? So if all these conspiracists, these conspiracy theorists vote for Trump, come on, bro. Stick to what you've been saying before, right? Brass tacks or nothing. David V says that UFOs are demons from other dimensions. I think it's like this, David V. I actually think Earth can be heaven and Earth can be hell. It really is what we make of it. Some could say this is purgatory, right? But what I'm trying to say is that we don't have to go too far to know what demons are. Some of them are our neighbors. Some of these despicable child predators, serial killers, drug dealers, our world leaders are demons. When I see you in real life, I'm gonna punch you, bro. You will. You're still talking. The homie Ricky says because I'm keeping his channel going. David B says Trump about to release the Epstein. You mean Epstein list? No, Einstein was a hero of mine. But Epstein list. Okay. Well, how come he didn't do it the first time, David? Why should we believe him now? Right? JFK got killed by the CIA. Yeah. And didn't some people say, I think, was in it Q, the Q movement, QAnon? Didn't they say that Donald Trump had the support of QAnon and that he was going to reveal when he became president who assassinated one of his uncle's best friends? Well, his father's best killer, right? Because I think his best friend was John F. Kennedy Jr. or one of the Kennedys. I forget what his name was, but he was the last of the Kennedy children, grandchildren. I mean, he had a magazine called George, and that Kennedy, he flew an airplane from his home in Nantucket, whatever kind of town that is. He flew, and about 5 minutes into his flight, his airplane detonated under mysterious circumstances. They always thought people assassinated him because he was going to run for president. He was very popular with the women. He was very popular with the men. They thought he was going to be the next president. And they killed him because they never wanted to have a Kennedy as a president. Why? Because he was a Catholic. And most of our presidents have always been WASP, Anglo-Saxon Protestants, right? His best friend was the son of one of the Kennedys. Trump had a vested interest in finding out who killed them. And maybe he did. And maybe he realized how powerful the CIA is. And maybe he realized that he could be touched himself. And maybe that's why Trump didn't push the Epstein list. Maybe Donald J. Trump did not reveal who killed the Kennedys because it wasn't just John F., it was Robert Kennedy too. Maybe he couldn't because he was afraid. Is that what you want, David? A guy who boasts about being so brave, but he's afraid. Whoever heard of it, but I may look into it. It might be deeper than we think. Absolutely, David. It's absolutely, that's why I'm saying, why do we get so excited about voting for the people that are gonna make our life a living hell? Right? I'll tell you the truth, guys. This is what you guys have to be voting for. Vote local. Vote for your city council members. Vote for your school district. Vote for taxes in your town. Those impact you more than these leaders that are manipulated and puppeteered by world elites. You cannot control or tell the president if he can or cannot start a war, but you can control whether or not they pass taxes in your city to repair the potholes in the road or not, the school hallways, the lighting in the hospitals, whether they finance more cops to be employed or not. You can influence those things. But once you vote for a president, as soon as they become the president, they don't have to maintain any accountability towards you, right? So vote local and vote state if you can. Um, Mexican Jesus. I think we'll wrap it up here because it's about to hit the twilight hour, the witching hour, 12 p.m. Pacific. But the Mexican G, I'm sure this is gonna be funny. I hope I say it right because I've never heard of this guy right here. He is voting for Dixon Cider. Dixon, Dixon, cider, like the beverage, Citer. Dixon cider. Well, I've never heard of Dixon. I've never heard of cider. What is he running for? Oh, Dicks inside her as a female. Oh God. you guys are you guys are the best. David B says Thursday football F the Ravens. Yeah, go for it, man. David, go over there and distract yourself by football. The world is going to hell in the handbasket, and you're talking about who's gonna win between the Ravens and well, who are they playing against? Okay, Mexico G, buenas noches, mi gente. Mexico G says he's gonna bring America back to its glory days, more like the glory holes. The homie Ricky says, let's go Bengals. Guys, you guys are the best. I'm sure that we talked a lot of stupid stuff about shit that we don't know anything about. Pardon my French, guys. I'm just so upset at everything, right? But I wanted to say one thing. America has been great before, or at least America was greater then. And it looks very bad right now. And I do hope that our future president, Donald J. Trump, can survive the next 2.5 months, that there is no attempts in his life, that he can lead the country the right way, that we don't have to involve ourselves in unnecessary wars, that we can bring peace to the Middle East, that we can, man, let's just hope. Let's just hope that things get better, guys. Good talk. Welcome, David. I think he's new here. Yeah, I think David's been here before. He hops in once every blue moon, maybe once every 6 months, and then he just, as you can tell, he likes to show off about how smart he is. He's pretty smart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you adieu. It's been fun talking boxing. It's been hateful talking politics. But David, yes, prayers to the world. Prayers to the world. Que Dios los bendiga a ustedes. Que tengan bonita vida y buena salud. Adiós.